Hello, everyone. Welcome in to Pirate Radio Live. Clip Rock here in the Pirate Radio studios, coming to you on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM, 104.1 FM in Washington. We're on 1250, 930, online at pr927fm.com. And also, you can find us on Facebook Live and YouTube Live and watch today's program. Got a fun show for you coming up. Brian Bailey will join us at 3:30, get his thoughts on ECU UCF. Look ahead to Georgia State. His Cowboys lost yesterday. We'll get his take on that as well. Double B joins us later on this hour. The big man on campus, Jeff Nadu, had the ECU UCF over last week, so he was a happy man as the Pirates scored late and got that over. We'll talk to Jeff Nadu about the football weekend and look ahead at what's coming up this week. Ronnie Woodward will break down Saturday's game with us. He'll join us at 4:25, and Troy D is here in the 5 o'clock hour. We'll have the big calls from the U.S. Sailor fifth quarter call-in show, which went over a couple hours the other night. We had Rick Smith here joining us. It was great to have Coach Smith, and a lot of you called and asked him questions, and that was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, after an ECU loss there on Saturday. So, got a big show on tap. We got Jonathan Ellerbe joining us here in the Pirate Radio studios to kick us off. Ellerbe, how you doing?
Cliff, what's up? I want to start the show off by saying thank you. Great job by you and Shirley and Glenn and the entire staff this Saturday. I thought our coverage was outstanding. I was up for the whole 4-hour pregame show. The postgame show, as you mentioned, with Coach Smith was good. Hopefully for a better results this coming up this weekend. But thanks to all the listeners that plugged in, or the viewers that watched us on YouTube or Facebook. I thought we got off to a great start for our 18th year as the voice of the Pirate Nation.
Yeah, and the new setup here really allows you to get involved with the show. You, the listener, you, the viewer. And we had a ton of people on Facebook Live and also YouTube Live who are just watching us on their nice flat screen televisions there in their living rooms.
That's what I did. It was so
awesome.
easy. Yeah. I had a TV actually set up on my porch, and I was able just to sling it up on the smart TV through the YouTube app. So very, very easy to access Pirate Radio. I could even, inside my house, tell Alexa to listen to Pirate Radio 1250. So lots of easy ways to access us around your home, as everybody has been home a lot more the last 6+ months. And certainly Pirate football, it felt good, felt real to have a football game back in Greenville, even though no fans were at the game.
Awesome pregame leading you up to the noon kickoff. We'll be here with you 8 a.m. coming up this Saturday and do it all over again. As far as the game itself, Pirates get off to a good start, go down the field, score, and then UCF answers. And from there, the mistakes really piled up for the Pirates. You had those 3 fumbles. You had ECU not converting on a 4th down. So you give UCF all those chances. And as good as the defense did to really keep ECU in the game in that first quarter and first half, you just knew if you gave UCF that many opportunities, they were going to take advantage of it.
Yeah, the fumbles were frustrating. And, and honestly, it got to 41-7. UCF came out in the second half and just really kind of punched East Carolina in the face again. And the Pirates were, they didn't give up. And I know a lot of folks were happy they scored that last touchdown for many reasons, whether you had the Pirates plus the points or the over. But UCF's the real deal. They're a good football team. I'm interested to watch them play the rest of the season. And can they be that group of 5 team that can make it? Can they be the team that knocks the door into the college football playoff in this crazy year of 2020, especially after what we've seen with upsets early on in the week 1 or whatever week we're in college football, with LSU going down, Oklahoma going down. So UCF's a good team. I think this week right here against Georgia State really sets the stage of where the Pirate football program is as we go on the road to take on a Sun Belt team that is a 1-point favorite right now.
Yeah, Sun Belt team that is favored against the Pirates. And you look at them, nearly knocked off Louisiana, had them on the ropes, but they lost in overtime. Georgia State did not play over the weekend, and that was due to positive COVID tests and contact tracing results. And then the weird story hit on, I guess it was yesterday, Ellerbe, Sunday, that here it is from Charlie Cobb, AD, at Georgia State. He said, quote, Friday afternoon as we were loading the buses to play a football game at Charlotte, we were informed that 4 individuals out of 135 had tested positive for coronavirus from our 3rd test in 4 days as part of our protocol to play. Through contact tracing, we identified 17 others, including one coach, who would require quarantining. These were our first positive test results in 3 weeks. He went on to say, out of an abundance of caution for the rest of our team and for Charlotte, we could not in good conscience put our team on the bus and play a game. So that kind of makes sense. But then he goes on to say that the disappointing news is we could have played on Saturday. There was a lab director informed our medical staff that a human error Friday morning caused the error in test results. So this is not, on the team. Somebody in the lab had seen the results and mistakenly said that these were positive tests, and then due to contact tracing, more people were out, and it just makes you shake your head when you read something like this, Ellerbe.
Yeah, do you want to go back and have some of your college and high school grades checked now?
Let's go back and actually, no, I'm done with it. Let's not look any further into that.
No, this is crazy. I mean, these guys were loading the bus to go to Charlotte. And then I think of vacation. Sorry, folks, park's closed. It's like, and then who's? How about the guy that gets the call from from Georgia State at UNC Charlotte, and like, we're not coming.
Yeah.
And then they see this news, and then also I wonder. We were talking today, like, man, are you surprised about the spread of Georgia State only being opened at a 2-point favorite, a 1-point favorite? Well, what happens if Georgia State wins by 14 or 15 this game, or loses? Like how that affects the gambling aspect for our upcoming game this week. But certainly bizarre circumstances there, and one that I'm sure a lot of schools are going to take note of and be like, hey, are you sure? I mean, are the questions, are you sure? Who checked this? And somebody had to lose their job over that. I mean, it's kind of like in Top Gun when they buzz the tower. I want someone's butts. I want it now. And
a lot of 80s movie references today by Ellerbe.
Yeah, you like that?
2 right out of the gate. I like it.
All right.
No, and you mentioned the point spread. I've seen a lot online and everything. A lot of people are like disgusted, disrespected, like completely shocked that ECU's an underdog to Georgia State. And I mean, you just got to look at what ECU's done over the last 4 years.
Last week, I thought it would be 6.
ECU,
I said Georgia State -6. I think you said 3.
ECU doesn't deserve to be a favorite on the road just about against anybody. Not named UConn at this point.
And I don't care where we are on the point spread aspect.
Sure, yeah. We got to play a game.
Yeah, so. I mean, like the UCF game is like, you knew we're not going to be favored in that game. So, and I'm glad the Pirates covered. But it's the Georgia State game. I don't really care what the point spread is. I thought it was going to be Georgia State -6, but now it's Georgia State -1. It doesn't. It's one of those spreads. Hey, look, someone's got to win a ball game.
Yeah,
and I'm hoping I think it's going to be a good game. I don't have any reason to think it'll be a blowout one way or the other. And I'm hoping East Carolina has the old adage that you grow from game 1 to game 2.
Yeah.
Especially that we're playing back to back. Georgia State had a little muff in their last game. I'm hoping the Pirates can really get their game going this week and go down to Georgia State and make some things happen.
Yeah, got to clean up the passing game. Was disappointed in that because all offseason I thought if one thing did click, it would be Ehlers to Johnson, Ehlers to Prohl, Ehlers to Snead, and we just didn't see that. 2 catches apiece from the big 3 is not going to cut it, and you're not going to win any games doing that.
No, I was really surprised at that as well. And, I just the fumbles, those were just heartbreaking because, in the defense being on the field so long, and it's just, you can't give a good UCF team that many chances for you not to take advantage of it. And then UCF really didn't get a ton of points off turnovers, but they just, when they had the ball, man, they looked unstoppable at times, and they had the couple big bust plays on the Pirates. So yeah, definitely the offense is going to have to tighten up. I thought there was a couple play calls when it was 4th and 3, and then one other time that the way they call the plays on those were we went deep. That one time, there was a few times during the game that I thought some of the actual play calling seemed a little bizarre, but definitely game 2 expecting a lot more from what you call the big 3, and I was surprised at their totals at the end of the game.
The MD stat of the game on the UB stat sheet was 244 rushing yards, which is a huge number for ECU, and as Rick Smith said, a huge number for any team. But for the Pirates to have that many rushing yards is great. I think The problem is, how many rushing yards did they have when the game was still, in doubt, when the game was still a game? And I don't know if they had that many then. They ran the ball late and ran it with some success, but it's encouraging to see them go to so many different running backs and run the ball. I want to see that when it's tied or when ECU's up 7 or down 7.
Yeah, I mean, and I forget which one of our former coaches, not head coaches, might have been an assistant coach, that stats are for losers. I mean, it's really the scoreboard that matters. And as you said, the circumstances of how East Carolina, you get yards in a game. It's one thing when it's 31-28 and you have 244 yards. I mean, like, gosh, we did all this on the ground, we did all this on the air. But I mean, it's just, as you said, when it's 41-7 at one point in the game, the other team is probably going to let off the gas a little bit or not be as pressure on the, or who knows what kind of rotation they have of their secondary.
Overall, it's hard to, and I think it's fair to be disappointed in the offense and the passing game in particular. Defensively and really overall, it's hard to kind of, I don't know, have your final thoughts on the 2020 Pirates after a game against UCF. You know what I'm saying? They're just so above where ECU is right now and above where a lot of teams are right now.
I think I had the score. I said UCF something 50-something to about 28 or 31.
Well, I had 54-30, so apologies for the spoilers, folks. I told you what was going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it played out about how I thought it would. I thought it was going to be more competitive. I didn't think it would be 41-7, and then, each team East Carolina would come back. I thought maybe UCF would pull away late, but it's just that. Look, it's one game. It's behind us now. I think this game this week, really kind of shows you, as I said, I mean, this is a Sun Belt team. I'm not trying to play down the Sun Belt. And I mean, they went to Tennessee last year and won, Georgia State.
Nearly beat a ranked team already this year.
I know, but
in overtime.
But it kind of tells you where it kind of it's a better litmus test of where we are talent wise, where we are in year 2 with Mike Houston, and I don't think there's a tremendous amount of pressure to win the next 8 games, but I think there's a tremendous amount of pressure to be playing really good the next 3 games, because I think the next 3 games are as winnable as any on the schedule right now.
Well, we'll have the big calls later on, and there was a lot of, fans saw some things to be optimistic about. I don't think anybody was expecting to win the game against UCF. If ECU loses on Saturday, I think the emotion in the calls is going to be ramped up a little bit, because there's if you polled the Pirate Nation, I'm going to say, 95% of ECU fans expect ECU to win this game?
Yes.
Yeah, so, and if they don't, there's going to be some anger after the game Saturday afternoon on the U.S. Sailor 5th quarter call-in show. And because a lot of this just, again, depends on your expectations. People expected to lose to UCF, so nobody was really that fired up after the game. If, the Pirates lose this week, it's going to be a different story.
The scheduling when schedules come out, and I think this game got scheduled 4 or 5 years ago. I mean, but do you remember what it sounded like when we did a home and home with Georgia State? People were like, "What?"
I think at the time I thought they were FCS.
Right, but a lot of people were like, "What in the world? What are we doing?" And then people were like, "Oh, it's the Atlanta market, this and that." But so a lot of
which is so lame in my opinion. It's 2020, like. It's not 1960 when you schedule the Georgia State so people in Atlanta know who ECU is. Like, I hate the location of schools thing.
People in Atlanta don't know who Georgia State is.
That is a great point.
Yeah, I mean, you could walk around a lot of areas in Atlanta.
They need to schedule Georgia Tech so people will get to know who Georgia State is.
They need to schedule the Falcons or the Braves, and then people will get to know who Georgia State is. But but I mean, it's just like anything, and it's a conference thing. We're in the American, it's Power 6. Anytime East Carolina's going to play a Conference USA.
Say Power 6? Is that a thing?
Well, that's what the American says.
Okay.
Can I not say that anymore?
Yeah, yes. We can make up things.
All right. Well, it's the group of 5 plus 1. I don't know. The Power 5 plus 1. Is that what we want to call it? But yeah, I mean, everybody's always going to. I mean, it's just like when the SEC plays anybody. I mean, they expect to win, or the ACC plays anybody.
I know. Just be careful with that below us attitude. We ran the clip from the North Carolina player for like 3 years after ECU beat UNC with they're beneath us.
That's true.
Beneath who? Somebody made a freaking billboard about it.
I don't think it's as much as the fans just I think East Carolina fans expect to win their non-conference games when they're not playing a Power 5 school.
Yeah, and Georgia State particularly, because they don't have any history, tradition, notoriety, anything.
But the reality is East Carolina has lost to 2 FCS schools in the last 4 years.
Yeah, and look, I remember how pumped up I was to go on the road last year and beat Old Dominion. And Old Dominion, turns out, they were awful last year. But I was excited to beat a D1 FBS team on the road. I'll have that same feeling if the Pirates can go to Atlanta and win.
And I could see the game being very similar to that.
I kind of look at it
a dogfight. I hadn't even thought about it. That's probably one of the great. That's a great example of East Carolina fans didn't. Same thing. 95% of us expected East Carolina to win when they went to Norfolk, and
which was a tight spread. I can't remember one way or the other who was favored, but it's very similar to this matchup.
Absolutely, and this will be very interesting how the Pirates play and how they answer coming off such a talented team against UCF.
And really, the next 2 games are huge because South Florida picked below ECU in the AAC. I mean, just think, can you imagine? As I go Troy D here.
Anything's possible.
At Georgia State, at USF, you pick up a couple wins there. And
road games.
Yeah, and then you're home against Navy. I mean, that would get people, I think, fired up for that Navy game.
The scary thing is we all expect East Carolina basketball to always lose on the road. But I mean, at some point, the football team, is we're not used to them always losing. So in the American of late, we haven't been very successful. So
that's why the ODU win was fun last year.
Winning on
because outside of UConn, who else have they beaten on the road lately?
Nobody.
Yeah,
it's going to be. I'm excited. And look, another noon kickoff, and then the USF game announced today 7:00. So Clip Brock gets to sleep in a little bit the next week for the Bud Light pregame tailgate. So we'll see.
Yeah, that will be an ESPN Plus game against USF. This week will be on the ESPN U. So folks can watch it coming up at noon. So Pirates start the season 0-1. Ellerbe, what else did you watch on Saturday?
I watched the LSU Mississippi State game.
Mike Leach off to a pretty darn good start.
I mean, I liked his interview after the game. How was that, Coach? Oh, it was better than average. Did you hear his post-game comment? That was his post-game on the field. I mean, what a guy that guy is. I mean, to go to Mississippi State and win. I watched some of the Wolfpack, man. I guess it was a good thing the Virginia Tech wasn't at full strength.
NC State just is not planning on playing any defense this year. They didn't against Wake Forest and were able to get the win. They give up 45 to Virginia Tech, who Virginia Tech had 31 at halftime. Kind of let the foot off the gas.
That's when I quit watching.
Yeah. But that one was pretty much over early.
And I mean, they were playing shorthanded, like a hockey term.
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy. And I don't know. Looking forward to this weekend. I think there's a good lineup of games, outside of what the Pirates have, obviously at noon is going to be fun on ESPNU.
I always look ahead to, like, what I can watch when I get home, at night. And, is this okay? Friday night, Skip and Louisiana Tech takes on BYU. BYU looks like an NFL team. I watched them again the other night. But let's see. I think it's Auburn and Georgia. That's 7:30 on ESPN Saturday. So that'll be a good one after a full day of football and family and home tailgating. Ellerbe to kick back and watch.
Yeah, good SEC classic there. It was weird when they did the overhead shot of LSU Stadium and not seeing it full. There's some, how about Oklahoma losing? I thought that was a kind of a developing story of watching that in the Texas game. The highlights of that was crazy.
I'd much rather be hosting the fifth quarter here on Pirate Radio than the fifth quarter on Sooner Radio. Good grief, man.
You think Lincoln caught a little?
I'm guessing he did. It's back-to-back years losing to K-State like that.
And Kansas State just lost to Arkansas State.
Yeah,
a week or so ago. So yeah, this I think it's going to be very interesting to see how if the SEC can play to form, Clemson plays out through the ACC without any upsets. I think that's the part of it. And then when the Big Ten kicks in, how it all plays out. It's going to be a great week-to-week drama. I mean, I really feel like football's back after the Pirates have a game under their belt, even though it wasn't the game that we wanted. I feel like everybody's more engaged and excited and following football.
AAC game of the week after ECU and Georgia State. We'll be here watching this one during the U.S. Sailor fifth quarter call-in show. Memphis at SMU coming up at 3:30 ESPN2 on Saturday. The pecking order looks like UCF, Cincinnati, and then maybe a bit of a drop off Memphis SMU. So interested to see who comes out of that battle. I was going to say a Western Division showdown, but there are no divisions anymore.
Yeah, you got to remember that. Only 11 teams now.
The Falcons blew another lead yesterday, Ellerbe.
Yeah, I watched that, and my brother-in-law.
Is Tim the Tank, is he still interested in Falcons football?
Well, he was angry at the Dallas game pretty much the week before. And then I texted him yesterday, and I like Dan Quinn. And I like the guy before him. I can't think of his name right now. He was
Mike Smith.
Yeah, Mike Smith. I thought he went to the Super Bowl and then lost, I think, got to the NFC title game when the 49ers and Kaepernick actually beat him.
Yeah.
And then Quinn took him to the Super Bowl. They lost there. But I did text Tim the Tank yesterday that it was time for Arthur Blank to take the Home Depot jet down to the sidelines and fire Mike Quinn, and for them just to go ahead and tank not only for Trevor but to bring Dabo a little bit further south. Go ahead and hire Dabo and bring in Trevor Lawrence and refix as he called Matt Ryan, noodle-armed Matt Ryan. He's not a big fan of Matt Ryan. So maybe it's just time for a complete shakeup in Atlanta. And, of course, Julio wasn't playing yesterday, but, still, they blew the lead that they had. And I think that team can't recover this year. And now the worst part about it is they have Monday Night Football at Green Bay.
Oof. And the Rodgers and the Packers are smoking right now.
But not only that, but guess what? They're going to have to sit around all day Sunday, and then everybody's going to focus on Monday and talk. What are they going to talk? What's all the pregame show going to be talking about the last 2 weeks of the Falcons? At least they could have blended in somewhere if they had a divisional game on a Sunday. But now they're just going to get smoked on Monday, and I think that could be the end of Quinn. And then, as I said, Dabo and Trevor. What do you think?
The Clemson connection. Interesting.
I don't know if there's any connection, but they're just right there in Clemson. Atlanta's a little bit further south.
I think people talk about Trevor Lawrence more on Sundays than they do on Saturdays because I saw so much yesterday. You just brought him up with the Falcons. Washington football team, first place Washington football team loses. Dwayne Haskins stinks. And so, Washington fans are starting to talk about Trevor Lawrence. The Panthers beat the Chargers, and they're upset because now they might go out of the Lawrence sweepstakes. Like every team that loses, or if a bad team wins, Trevor Lawrence's name is brought up.
Right.
Every Sunday. That's all I see.
I think the Falcons are a legit contender for it.
And then the Jags, Gardner Minshew goes out and lays a dud on Thursday night, and now they're back in the Lawrence sweepstakes. So, it's people are really jockeying for that first pick this year.
Yeah, but if you're Trevor, don't you want to go to Atlanta over Jacksonville?
Probably so, yeah.
That's got to be.
I don't know.
The division's a little bit better in playing the South. You're just lost in Jacksonville.
What do you mean the division's better?
Just you get more publicity. It's right there with his people, Clemson, Atlanta. Not that. I just think I think that would be him.
Okay,
Jacksonville has a quarterback.
Yeah, I know.
They have a quarterback.
Who? Gardner?
Every team has a quarterback.
I'm just saying.
So they have a good quarterback.
I think he goes right up the road to Charlotte. Even though they won this weekend, I think they are the worst team.
Yeah, Trevor doesn't get to decide either. Like, it's whoever has the first pick.
And I really think it comes down to coaching, too.
There are a ton of 0-3 teams right now, but I think
the Panthers have a good coach. And I wonder, I think the Falcons need a change in coaching. And with that, can you get a change at quarterback? Because, those two obviously are.
I don't think the personnel are the issue in Atlanta. I think it's the
defense is terrible.
But they got way too much. And again, they scored 26 yesterday. They've been
ton
scoring. But with all that on the offensive side, you got to figure out a way to win a game. It's brutal. And to blow those leads. And yesterday it was Nick Foles coming in, leading the charge. Unbelievable.
It's just brutal. It's just brutal down there.
All right, Ellerbe.
I like how you say first place Washington football team.
That sounds good, doesn't it?
And then you follow up with they lost and our quarterback stinks.
Haskins is terrible.
It's a technicality.
But it's a fact.
It is a fact.
I stick to facts. The fact is they're in first. The fact is they lost. It's an opinion that Haskins stinks.
Would you rather have Haskins as your quarterback the next 2 years or Daniel Snyder as your owner the next 2 years? You had to pick one.
Haskins.
Okay. So Snyder sells the team, but Haskins has to stay as the quarterback.
For the next 2 years.
Yes.
We can get through that. We can get through it.
What about 3 years? Could you do 3 years? Could you do 4 years? 2024?
Do a whole presidential term with Dwayne Haskins in office.
No impeachment.
Yeah. You know what? Anything to get Snyder out, I'm on board with.
Snyder's
And the lines would be good by that time. Like your lines theoretically would be fixed, so you'd have a ton of top 10 draft picks over the course of those 4 years, ideally.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah. I'm sticking Haskins over Snyder.
You're
Absolutely.
Down. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right. Coming up later on this week on the show, we will talk to Kevin Monroe on Wednesday's edition of Pirate Radio Live. Got Dave Cohen, play-by-play voice of the Georgia State Panthers, joining us on Thursday's edition of Pirate Radio Live. Coming up tomorrow on Tuesday, we'll have DG on. David Glenn will join us to talk ECU, ACC, and everything else going on in the world of sports. So I got some good guests coming up this week. Got my old buddy Philip Henry joining me on a Zoom. Ellerbe, former ECU wide receiver, to get his thoughts on the Pirates and the Knights.
Nice. And DG is going to be actually here in studio, so look forward to that. And then back at it this Saturday with the 4-hour Bud Light pregame tailgate, 8 a.m. Lots of fun. Great way to wake up on Saturday and get all the information you need from the best guest in the Pirate Nation right here.
Well, that's my favorite thing I do, the pregame show. And we had a ton of fun on Saturday, and just hoping that we can have a celebratory edition of the fifth quarter on Saturday. We need one of those after a road win.
I'm feeling it this week. I'm going Pirates in a close one, 31-28.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be high scoring, and have not formulated my score as of yet, Ellerbe.
Over-under was like 70-something?
For this week?
Yeah.
I have not seen the total yet.
Yeah, I thought it was 70.
Holy moly. All right. Yeah, I'll check that out. All right, we'll take a time out, come back. Double B, Brian Bailey joins us on the other side. Coincidentally, once again, did not have time to talk NFL on the Brian Bailey Show. The 2 weeks the Cowboys have lost, he talked to the coach the entire time. The 1 week the Cowboys won, he had about a 20-minute block of NFL talk.
So what are you saying?
I'll bring that up to Bailey and find out what happened.
And talk about the first place Washington team?
Yes, sir. We'll do that and more when we return after this.
Medicare is not one size fits all, but which plan is right for you? Hi, I'm Denise Walker, and I'm a licensed insurance agent here in North Carolina. Whether you are turning 65, new to Medicare, or already have a plan, I can help you compare your Medicare options. I can help you find a plan offering low to no monthly premiums, prescription drug coverage, and a wide range of additional benefits like dental, hearing, vision, and more. Call me today at 434-531-5674 to get a no-cost, no-obligation Medicare benefits review.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Representative John Bell, the Majority Leader of the North Carolina House, and it has been an honor serving the people of Eastern North Carolina the last 8 years. I've had the privilege of working with your local representatives, Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey, as they delivered hundreds of millions of dollars in COVID relief funding to our small businesses, healthcare providers, and families right here in Pitt County. Unfortunately, their opponents are funded by radical liberal out-of-state donors that want to destroy our agriculture heritage, defund the police, and silence your voice by buying this election. This is not North Carolina. We cannot and will not let this happen. Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey are focused on solutions, not revolutions. They will make sure your voice is heard and represent our Eastern North Carolina values. So Pirate Nation, the choice is clear. On November 3rd, please support and vote for Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey for the North Carolina House. Strong voices for Eastern North Carolina. Paid for by the John Bell Committee.
Hi, this is Billy Parker, and football is here. Tailgate at home with family and friends this season and let Parker's Barbecue do all the cooking. While tailgating at your house, let us provide all the food with our delicious chicken, barbecue, seafood, and sides. We can customize packages for any size group, big or small. Give us a call today and place your order. Parker's and football, a winning combination. Also shipping nationwide at parkersbbq.com. Parker's Barbecue is how friends and family come together.
Are you trying to reduce clutter? Want to save a tree? Greenville Utilities can help. E-bill is a simple solution. Imagine getting an email letting you know your bill is ready. And with a few clicks on your computer or smartphone, you can review and pay your bill. It's just that easy. Signing up is simple. All you need to do is to log on to your account at guc.com and update your contact information and e-bill setting. You can even continue to receive a paper bill if you'd like. E-bill from Greenville Utilities. Just one of the ways GUC is here for you.
You don't need a big meeting. You don't need a birthday. You don't need any excuse at all. You just need to love subs. Times 12. Order the Jersey Mike's catering box today. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. Tired of cooking at home? Change it up without getting up. Just order Jersey Mike's through our app for no contact delivery or no contact at the door pickup. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
With rates being historically low, now is the best time to buy or refinance your home. This is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now is the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685-842. Equal housing lender.
Hey, welcome to Jack Brown's.
Hey, can I get a cheeseburger and add lettuce and tomato?
No, we don't have it. You can get some macaroni and barbecue chips on it, though. Greg Brady style.
Or cream cheese and jalapeno jelly.
Cobra Kai. Or bacon, a fried egg, and some cheese. Chiplet.
Or just cheese, like a cheeseburger.
Cool. I'll take a Greg Brady with those new cheese fries you guys got.
Sounds good.
Oh, I forgot. Can I get us out of ranch?
No! Jack Brown's, 805 Dickinson Avenue, Greenville.
Hi, this is Phil Steele of Phil Steele's College Football Preview Magazine, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show, and it's easy to see mosquitoes and fire ants, but don't forget about moisture and termites destroying your home underneath. Visit the professionals at Pest Tech online at pesttechofgreenville.com for all of your pest control needs. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
All right, thank you, Shirley Rhodes. We are here with you until 6 o'clock. At 6, it is the encore edition of the Brian Bailey Show, as he talked to ECU D-line coach Roy Tesh earlier today at noon. And tonight, we've got a good one for you on Monday Night Football as the Chiefs take on the Ravens. You can hear it right here on Pirate Radio. Brian Bailey, host of the Brian Bailey Show, joins me now on the Fixed NC Live line. Bailey, how you doing today?
Not too bad. How you doing?
Doing all right. My team's in first place. Feeling good.
That's right. And don't let anybody tell you they're not, because they are in first place by themselves, because they are 1-0 in the division.
That's right. Who told you that, Bailey? You know your stuff.
I'm just saying. That's what I've heard.
I do want to point out, Bailey, that you didn't have time to talk NFL on the Brian Bailey Show today. That is 2 weeks this season. You did not have time. The day after the Cowboys won, you had 20 minutes of NFL talk. So, just again, a coincidence, I'm sure, but
the way this thing is going, we won't have to worry about talking anything about NFL on my show on Mondays.
The NFC East is an absolute joke, and I will say Bailey's team is clearly the best out of the group, but they got to figure out how to win a game when they score 31 points. It doesn't matter what era we're in, Bailey. I know the NFL has changed a lot over the years, but it could be 1980 for sure, or 2020, or 2060. If you score in the 30s, you expect to win a game, right?
Yeah, you do. And I know in the Cowboys' case, I mean, they're really banged up in the secondary. They're banged up on the offensive line, which is, Ezekiel Elliott was just was nothing in that game. I mean, Dak threw it all over the place. But as Dak has a tendency to do sometimes, he threw an interception right before the half, which was really key, and then Seattle scores. And then starting the second half, he fumbles. So, I mean, he threw for almost 500 yards, but you just can't make those two turnovers. If they get some of that stuff worked out, I think they're okay. But I don't, you look at teams in the NFC, like the whole NFC West is better than the Cowboys. The whole NFC North, most likely. Maybe. I mean, the NFC East is 2-9-1 right now.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah. Congrats to the Eagles.
The Cowboys have a win, and that's all we've got right now.
Congrats to Philly getting in
the team formerly known as the Redskins.
Yeah, right. Congrats to Philly getting in the tie column yesterday with a tie against the Bengals. We'll get to ECU in a moment while we're on the topic. Bailey, fun one tonight. Chiefs Ravens. You going with Mahomes or Lamar tonight?
Well, I think you have to favor Baltimore at home. Obviously, I think they're 3.5-point favorites, but I wouldn't be surprised if it came down to a field goal. I think it's going to be a great game, and I think it's kind of what, I remember Monday Night Football as a kid. It was always the big game, the big event each week, and it's kind of lost a lot of that luster. Now Sunday Night Football is considered probably the kingpin, but it's nice to see a great game on a Monday night.
I read Peter King's Monday morning column today, and he talked about this game and why it's on ESPN. And CBS obviously lobbied hard for it, but they still have a ton of great games coming up on their schedule later in the calendar NFL season. And Peter King also mentioned that this might be like hey, you did a great job with the NFL draft coverage and kind of getting us through the sports hiatus. So we're going to throw you a bone here week 3 and give you the Chiefs-Ravens on Monday Night Football, and you guys can get all those ratings. So I just found that kind of interesting, like the NFL giving ESPN this game as like a thank you for draft coverage and things like that. I didn't really consider that until I read it earlier today.
Yeah, I always thought that it was kind of like they put the schedule out and they would try to dabble in some good games here and there, different slots, but I didn't really realize it was something like that. But it makes sense because if you think back to March, and all the sports fans that were so devastated with losing March Madness, and trying to get through March and then April, and really all we had to look forward to was the draft. I mean, that's the only thing I can remember in March and April, sports-related just about, was besides telling everybody which league was not playing, which, how the NBA was going to go about it, how Major League Baseball was going to go about it. But, so I think they deserve some credit for the draft.
We got one happy guy here in the studio. Intern Chandler just rolled in with his Luke Kuechly jersey and Panthers hat. He's happy to see the Panthers get off the schneid and pick up a win yesterday against the Chargers. Another fun NFL Sunday, Bailey, and boy, if you're a Falcons fan right now, you're hating life. Another blown lead there. A lot of blown leads in the NFL yesterday, and your Cowboys were involved in one of those last week when they were able to come back on the Falcons. But, man, Bailey, you talk about it a lot, and also you talk about this, the football season. Like, I'm already looking ahead to Week 4's games. Like, the thing just flies by, doesn't it? You say it every year.
Yeah, it does. And just, for me personally, it hasn't flown by like it usually does, because usually the high school stuff keeps us so busy during the week. So like my week usually goes real busy Monday, Tuesday a little less, and Thursday, Friday, really getting ready for Friday Night Football, and of course Saturday you got East Carolina and everything. And I've got some new duties this year, but still, I'm the same way, man. The Seattle game, I'm like, okay, Cowboys have the Browns next week. There are no gimmies. I'm not going to say they're going to win the game, but you've got a chance. But I'm telling you, if I'm Baker Mayfield, I'm looking up at some of those Seattle receivers going, hey, I can throw that pass.
We shall see. Bailey, what were your thoughts after ECU's loss to UCF on Saturday? What stood out to you?
Well, rarely do we all kind of get a game right. But, we did the Zoom thing last week, and we all were basically right around the score. And we all thought East Carolina could stay within the 27.5 as the spread was, but we also thought that UCF was pretty good. They were going to score a lot of points, and even though they gave up a lot of points, I really liked the Blake Harrell defense. I just thought they tackled much better than I've seen in a while. I thought they really kept them in the game in the first half. Coach Houston was telling me today, if you think about it, midway through the second quarter, it's a 10-7 game. I mean, they're right in it, and they fumbled 3 times already. But those fumbles didn't cost them right away, but I think it really cost them, eventually. When they got kind of worn down. And
that had to be frustrating. Yeah, for Houston and Donnie Kirkpatrick going back and watching it, seeing all those opportunities they had to get a lead, extend a lead early in that first quarter, because your defense was forcing a punt, holding them to a field goal, doing all they could against this high-powered offense. And boy, UCF got off to the weirdest start you'll ever see with their first offensive possession. 4 straight false start penalties. They're so good, it didn't matter. They end up getting a first down. But they gave ECU a chance to jump out and get a little lead on them, and the Pirates unfortunately did not take advantage of those.
Yeah, and that's what we were saying, was there a recipe for an upset? And that was exactly it. If UCF comes down and they're flat as a pancake, I don't know how you get 4 straight false starts. I mean, it was almost hilarious to me to watch it, because, and that Pirate crowd deserves some credit, because they threw them all off.
Well, you get them the mamas in the stands, Bailey. They can get on the players, right? So they were.
Well, they can, and it was just really strange that it started off like that. And I swear I don't think I've ever seen 4 straight penalties like that, the same exact thing on different people.
Bailey, Pirates open up a slight dog against Georgia State. Shocking to some. If you've watched ECU football and know that Georgia State, is talented, went to a bowl game last year, beat Tennessee last year, almost knocked off ranked Louisiana earlier this year. Not as surprising to see them as a slight favorite. But look, this is a game that Mike Houston needs. I think this is a very important game. If looking ahead at the schedule, maybe your most winnable game left on the schedule, maybe South Florida and a couple others. But I not to put all the eggs in this basket, but this is a really big game for Mike Houston and his program.
Well, I think it is too. You get a chance to go on the road. I think they understand that this is not UCF that they're playing, but it's a good football team. And Coach was talking about he knows the head coach at Georgia State and knows that the type of team that he's got in his 5th year now that he's there, and so I think that goes a long way as to say that, hey, this is a really good football team that you're playing, and I think it's a difficult assignment again, and it's just it's the next game on the schedule, but you'd like to be 4 or 5 games in by now, and I think the Pirates would be much better as far as the offense and some other things, but they got to go down there, and those young defensive linemen, I think, play pretty well at times. They've got to continue to grow up quick.
I think, and I hope, Bailey, the passing game clicks a lot more in week 2, and we'll see a big bounce back from Ayler, C.J. Johnson, Tyler Snead. Those 3 guys, Snead and Prohl and Johnson, having 2 catches apiece that is shocking to me, and I don't know if we'll see that again the rest of the year. They got to bounce back from how they played on Saturday.
Yeah, and I think they will. It just seemed like the game, with those 3 fumbles that happened, and then it kind of just seemed like the game got away quickly, and then all of a sudden it was, Holton couldn't find those guys, and usually those are his go-to guys. So I like the way the young running backs looked. I think they looked the part. They looked fired up, ready to go, and it's nice to see some of that. Obviously, a lot of the rushing yards came after the game was pretty much out of reach, but still they were able to run the football. And running the football a lot of times is execution. So if they can learn some of that and get a chance to practice it even in a loss, I think it bodes well. If they can run the football, I think they'll be pretty good.
We'll be talking ECU all week long, and man, what a sports week it is. We'll sprinkle in some baseball playoffs, some NBA finals, of course, NFL another week. I mean, what a great sports week we're in the middle of, Bailey. Your Cubbies got the Marlins in round 1. Have they ever met in the postseason? Anything crazy ever happened when the Marlins and Cubs met in the playoffs?
It'll happen this time, will it?
That is true. I didn't think of that. There will be no fan interference at Wrigley Field this time when the Cubs play the Marlins. That's pretty good, Bailey.
Somebody should put a cutout of Bartman out there for that deal. But I think these baseball playoffs are just going to be crazy. I mean, best 2 out of 3 for everybody to start off with. I mean, the only advantage to basically winning your division is you have a home field with no fans. I mean, there's no telling. I think this one might be just about as hard as the NCAA bracket to try to pick everything and see how much you get right. Because I don't think a lot of those favorites are going to be knocked off early.
I don't like the Braves matchup with Cincinnati. I can tell you that because they got 3 good starters over there, led by Trevor Bauer, who will face Max Fried in Game 1 coming up on Wednesday. And how about that Wednesday, Bailey? You mentioned March Madness. Braves and Reds throwing out the first pitch at noon. Brewers and Dodgers will throw out the first pitch after 10 o'clock. In between that, you got 6 more games. Games on all day long coming up.
All day long. So get by the TV and check it out, and just thank the good Lord we got some sports to cover.
Yes, sir. Good stuff. Bailey, thanks for joining us, man. We'll hear the encore edition of the Brian Bailey Show. Roy Tesh is guest today. Give us a preview or a recap, however you want to put it. What did you and Coach Tesh talk about?
Well, really, we just talked about the play of the defensive line, how young they are in spots, his impressions of how they played. He played a lot of defensive linemen in that game. And he was joking about it that it was like a hockey line. He'd send a new line in, and if you watch them on the sidelines, and they have their hands up and they're ready to go. And then when UCF would substitute, they would fly out there to substitute. And there was, a lot of times when you talk to those guys, and Coach Tetch is a really good interview. I mean, he takes his time and goes over, every little thing with you. And he was just really, really informative. I think folks will enjoy it if they didn't hear it today live.
Bailey, appreciate you joining us today. Have a great rest of your week. Really enjoyed talking with you on the Bud Light pregame tailgate on Saturday. We'll do that again at 9 a.m. this Saturday.
That'll be fun. I'll bring Bella. We'll all hang out.
Sounds good. Bring her on. The more the merrier. That'll be fun. Thank you, Bailey. All right, let's take a time out. We will come back, wrap up hour number 1. See if there's anything going on at the Shirley Rhodes news desk. I think a bit of a slow day, maybe a schedule change here or there. We'll talk about that. Get Chandler's thoughts on the Panthers' first W of the season as they knock off the Chargers. I tried to tell Chandler and Tony on Friday that the Chargers stink, and they're not that good. I guess more so Tony than Chandler.
Yeah, I took the Panthers.
Okay, all right. Chandler knows his stuff. We'll talk about that and more when we return on PRL. We're back after this.
It's a story that started in a community like ours. Cal Cunningham grew up in Lexington, where church youth groups working at the local brickyard and McDonald's shaped his life. And now Cal's running a different kind of campaign for the U.S. Senate.
I'm Cal Cunningham. I want my service in the U.S. Senate to be about listening and going places where Democrats don't always go. That's what I learned growing up in Lexington, where we don't check voter registration before taking care of our neighbors. We believe in hard work and service, just like the soldiers I served with overseas.
Cal Cunningham volunteered after 9/11, a lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserve who served 3 tours and took on corrupt government contractors. And Cal will take on the corruption in Washington that's been rigging the system for the drug and insurance companies. That's why Cal's not taking corporate PAC money, because he believes the top 1% don't need more favors. It's regular folks who need a voice. He'll be a senator on our side.
I'm Cal Cunningham, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Cal for NC.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now, during hurricane season, is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer. IRC Beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
Let's turn a trip to the branch into a tap on your phone. Let's hit pause on a lost debit card without hitting pause on life. That's how First National Bank is redefining convenience with a top-rated mobile app that puts more security and control at your fingertips and friendly people to help you succeed right by your side. Let's get started at fnb-online.com or your local First National Bank. FNB member FDIC.
If you're like many, you may have put on the Corona 5, 10, or even 15 over the last 2 months. Well, the weather is warm and it's time to get that body back on track. At Clean Eats, we have you covered. Our weekly meal plan will quickly help you get back to where you want to be. Order online at cleaneats.com. Our cafe is back open, sanitized, and waiting to serve you healthy lunch and dinner options for dine-in, takeout, curbside, or even delivered through our delivery partners. Clean Eats, it's a lifestyle. 805 Red Banks Road, Arlington Village.
Let us help you get back to business.
This is Donald Stocks
and Justin Judge of PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
We're ready to assist your business with branded PPE. Would you like face masks with your logo? We can do that, plus custom social distancing signage.
Now is the time to ramp up your marketing efforts. Whether it's cutting-edge, contactless, touchless marketing, or traditional direct mail, we can do it all. We are PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
Well,
if it isn't the Pirate Captain.
Pirate Radio.
The beard's looking great, my man.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. PRL this afternoon is brought to you by Bud Light, who reminds Pirate fans to always stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty, wrapping up hour 1 of today's show. Got Jeff Nadu, the big man on campus from Barstool Sports, joining us at 4 o'clock. We'll recap the weekend. We'll look ahead at some games that he's already got an eyeball or two on for the upcoming week in college football and the NFL. Ronnie Woodward will join me as well in hour number 2. Talk ECU, UCF, and look ahead to Georgia State. Some news today that you should know about. ECU and USF coming up on the 10th of October will be played in Tampa, and that will be a 7 o'clock kickoff. So the first night game of the season for the Pirates. You can watch it on ESPN+. That means our pregame coverage will begin that day at 3 o'clock, and we will have a late night, early morning edition of the U.S. Cellular fifth quarter call-in show. Once again, this week, you can watch ECU Georgia State at noon on ESPNU, and our pregame coverage begins 8 a.m. coming up this Saturday. Shirley, any news and notes that you have at your Shirley Rhodes news desk?
Well, we did have one schedule addition, and that was North Carolina. They added Western Carolina to their football schedule. That game is slated for December 11th. That game replaces the canceled Charlotte game. So it'll be Carolina and Western Carolina on December 11th. You talked about the Braves and Reds beginning the wild card round on Wednesday at noon. That'll be at Truist Park. And I was just reading a few minutes ago that, of course, Nick Foles took over for Mitch Trubisky in that comeback win for the Bears yesterday. The head coach for the Bears announced that Nick Foles will start on Sunday for the Bears when they take on Indianapolis.
Trying to get to 4-0 now with Nick Foles at the helm as starting quarterback.
It'll be interesting, to say the least.
The baseball playoffs get underway on Tuesday with 4 games. All the American League games will be played on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, everybody's playing. It's going to be awesome. 8 games on Wednesday. As you said, Braves and Reds at noon. And then the last game of the day, Dodgers and Brewers, and 6 games in between that. So that's going to be awesome.
It's going to be, I'm going to have a live scoreboard then coming on Wednesday's show.
Yes, we will be keeping an eye on several games coming up on Wednesday. The conclusion of Braves Reds. You've got the Astros Twins at 1, Marlins Cubs at 2, White Sox A's at 3, Blue Jays Rays at 4. So we will have a lot of updates.
A lot of baseball for you.
That'll be fun on Wednesday. And in conjunction with that, Mike Mullis will join us Wednesday live in the Pirate Radio studios to talk about all of that.
And I believe, and don't quote me on that, you may want to check this, but I think the KBO's postseason starts tomorrow. And if that is correct, because I just glanced at the tweet earlier today, but I believe it is going to be the NC Dinos taking on somebody else, and that starts tomorrow morning. So, and of course, Mike Wright pitching for the NC Dinos, and he's had a tremendous season over in the KBO. So looking forward to keeping a tab on that as well.
And KBO will never forget you. You helped get us through the sports hiatus the best you could. Thanks to ESPN for airing some of those games. So
they've kind of fallen off to the wayside now that obviously our sports have gone, but there was a time where they were the only game in town, literally. And so hats off. They've been fun to watch, too.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed watching a lot of those KBO games.
And Mike Mullis prefers their style to the Major League Baseball game, and maybe that's why he's agreeing to come on. Maybe he's talking KBO postseason.
Well, they don't seem to waste a whole lot of time. There's a lot of home runs and a lot of base hits. And, it just seems like it's more action-packed with the KBO. I don't know if it's because the hitters are better or if the pitching is not as good. I don't know, but it's been fun to watch because the Dinos, I know, have had several games where they rallied from like 5, 6, 7 runs down and come back and just drub a team. So it's been fun to watch.
All right, Chan man, we'll get you on for a second. Your Carolina Panthers victorious over the Chargers yesterday. That was a fun last drive. Probably not for you. Probably a little nerve-wracking, but how about the play? Keenan Allen catches it from Justin Herbert, makes the flip to Austin Eckler, and he can't hang on. If he does hang on, he probably scores.
Yeah, it looked like he had a lot of room to score there.
But the Panthers get it done. What were the keys to the victory yesterday?
Something that we didn't see in the first 2 weeks, and that's quarterback pressure. We got a lot of pressure on Justin Herbert. Brian Burns got back into the mix of things, getting him involved a lot more than last year. I saw where he's averaging about 54 plays a game. Last year he was only averaging 29.4 plays a game. So Mike Davis did a good job of filling in for in my opinion, the best running back in the league, Christian McCaffrey, and it was great to get a win. And I forgot what a Panthers win felt like, Clip, because the last time we saw one was in Week 9 of last year against the Tennessee Titans. I think November 3rd was the date of that game. I was actually at that game, so it's great to get back into the win column, and hopefully I put it on Twitter the other day. I forgot who we play next week, and I looked it up, and no other than Mighty Mouse, Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals, who are coming off a loss against the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, they have a high-powered offense. I think you can score on them, though, so we'll see. Panthers Cardinals coming up this weekend, but a good win for Carolina. And man, is there any talk about like throwing a screen pass to Dante Jackson or getting him involved on the offense?
He's fast,
because every time he gets a pick, it's the second time this year, he covers more ground on the field running that football than just about. He's one of the, if not the fastest guy in the league, wouldn't you say?
Oh, no doubt about it. I think he was one of the fastest in his draft class when it came to the combine. But yeah, if push comes to shove, we saw Curtis Samuel in the background. Me and Tony talked about it, maybe being that being a possibility, and not really what I expected from Curtis Samuel in the background or in the backfield, I should say. But if push comes to shove, put Dante Jackson back there.
Give him a screen. See what he can do. Back when the Redskins would be out of the playoffs, it annoyed me because I wanted them to do it like while they were still in contention. They'd play Champ Bailey at receiver like week 17, and it was so much fun because he was so much fun with the ball. Hey, Matt Rule, get Dante a touch or two, just see what he can do. But he had another nice pick in return yesterday in a Carolina victory.
Before we go to break, Clip, my game ball obviously goes to Matt Rule. Congratulations on the first win. And then my second game ball goes to J.J. Jansen, the long snapper, on a great hustle play at the end of the game.
Of course, Chandler's going to show the long snapper love, but that's a big play.
Yeah,
That's a game-winning play. Special teams came up pretty big for the Panthers on Sunday. All right, we'll take a timeout. Come back when we return. We will recap the weekend with the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu. Also, get his thoughts on Week 4 of the NFL. We'll talk Monday Night Football tonight, of course, and see if he likes anything in the college game also. All that on the way when we kick off hour number 2 of Pirate Radio Live after this.
Hey guys, listen up. The next 30 seconds is very important because we have an announcement. Shimmer Boutique is your one-stop shop to make you look good and thoughtful. This is Ashley at Shimmer Boutique. We specialize in men's and women's apparel and also carry the biggest selection of local hats and jewelry. From Yetis to Hey Dudes, this is the place for you. Did I mention we also have free gift wrapping? Come check us out at our new location on Greenville Boulevard behind Starbucks. Shimmer is your one-stop shop for the whole family, and we will always make your shopping experience easy and fun.
Can't make it to the game? Relax. Bostic Sugg Furniture can provide you with the best seats in the house. We have the area's largest selection of Lazy Boy motion furniture in stock and ready to go. Lazy Boy recliners, reclining sofas, love seats, and reclining sectionals in hundreds of colors, styles, fabrics, and leather, all at a very comfortable price. Remember, when it comes to Lazy Boy motion furniture, we're your ticket to the best seats in the house. Bostic Sugg Furniture in Greenville.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
You know, anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those, but anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
Summertime is here with hot temperatures, thunderstorms, and hurricanes. It's easy to recognize pests invading your home, but a lot of people forget about moisture destroying your home's crawl space. Pest Tech is celebrating its 20th year protecting your homes using dehumidifiers, professional-grade liners, and most importantly, our licensed and highly trained technicians. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com for a free estimate on moisture control and the other silent destroyer, termites. Trust your home to the best. Pest Tech of Greenville, your East Coast exterminating professionals.
This is John Gavigan with the Gavigan Agency. Our top priority is doing what is best for our members. Whether you are buying a new vehicle, a new home, protecting your family with life insurance, or filing a claim, our agency will be there every step of the way. Our goal is to become a trusted advisor for you and your family for all of your personal and commercial insurance needs. Give us a call in Greenville at 756-1400 for a car, home, business, or life insurance quote today, and give us the opportunity to show you the benefits of doing business with someone who cares.
There have been many changes in the automotive world. At Phelps Chevrolet, the Phelps boys are here to take care of you. Mike, Daryl, and 4 of Mr. Phelps' grandsons, Wade, West, Allen, and Clay. You see, things at Phelps remain the same. The Phelps team has served Eastern North Carolina for over 50 years. We make your visit easy and fun. We are your neighbors, and that's what neighbors do. Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville. Like Mr. Phelps' great-granddaughter says, come in and get you one.
This is Sam Jones inviting you to join us for lunch, dinner, or takeout at Sam Jones Barbecue. At Sam Jones, you'll find our smokehouse pumping out fresh food cooked over wood every single day. That's our Eastern North Carolina whole hog barbecue, slow-cooked chicken, smoked turkey, and spare ribs. There are no freezers here. Everything, and we mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Come on over and see us at Sam Jones Barbecue, and I'll bet you'll be able to taste the difference in just one bite. Sam Jones Barbecue, Fire Tower Road.
Let us help you get back to business.
This is Donald Stocks
and Justin Judge of PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
We're ready to assist your business with branded PPE. Would you like face masks with your logo? We can do that, plus custom social distancing signage.
Now is the time to ramp up your marketing efforts. Whether it's cutting-edge, contactless, touchless marketing, or traditional direct mail, we can do it all. We are PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by The Man Cave, Greenville's newest premier destination for professional manicures, pedicures, and hair services for men only. Book your appointment today at mancaveandnails.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Greenville Utilities Neighbor to Neighbor program provides help for those who need temporary assistance with their utility costs, and you can make a difference. Your tax-deductible donation can be added to your GUC bill each month, or you can make a one-time donation, and GUC matches all donations up to $20,000 each year. Consider helping a neighbor with GUC's Neighbor to Neighbor program. Now let's head back in to the, I almost said it.
Football season got the best of Shirley there.
I almost said it. The Pirate Radio, PRL. You know what? Just take it away, Flip. Jeez. I almost said Bud Light pregame tailgate. Yeah. I knew I was going to do it.
I've had that hiccup before, too, where I'll say we'll return on the, and if you say the, you're messed up, because I was going to say sports bar. And if we'll be back on the Pirate Radio Live after this. Doesn't really sound right. Bud Light pregame tailgate, 5th quarter call-in show. We got a lot of shows to keep up with. So.
I know.
But we are back on this program. Got Ronnie Woodward joining us in just a little bit. So he'll be here with me inside the Pirate Radio studios. Troy D in hour number 3. And if you want to chime in with your thoughts, you can on Facebook Live, Twitter, or when Ronnie's here or Troy's in here, give us a call, 317-1250. We'll look back at the big calls of the U.S. Sailor fifth quarter call-in show coming up in just a bit. But right now, we'll head out to the Fixed NC live line and visit with the BMOC, the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu from Barstool Sports, as he joins us today. Jeff, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, Clip. How are you?
Hey, doing good. I know you're coming off a good weekend. Before we look ahead, let's look back. And the Pirates made you sweat it out a little bit, but you did get your over in that ECU UCF game. And you said there was some backdoor opportunities in that game. The Pirates get the late cover as well. But, Jeff, we had, 3 first-half fumbles, a good drive that ended on 4th down, and Ehlers threw a pick in the end zone. You were on the right side the entire time, but ECU made you sweat it out a little bit.
Yeah, and look, Clip, when I talk about games, I strictly look at it from a gambling standpoint. I obviously don't have any connection to any school, but I didn't quite understand the game plan, frankly, particularly on offense. I felt like ECU just was obsessed with running the football. I get, you want to establish a balance, but I thought there was a lot for Holton Ehlers. We know the kind of receivers they have down there. C.J. Johnson, 2 catches. I mean, that's just not enough targets. They should have threw the ball more. I didn't quite understand late why you were just running the ball seemingly on every play. I mean, there were a lot of rush attempts from ECU, way more than I think there should have been. When you go up against Central Florida and you're down, 30 points, you got to try stuff. You got to take shots. You got to make the score look better than it is. They ended up doing that, but I didn't understand the game plan in the second half, frankly, at all.
We'll talk to Donnie Kirkpatrick later in the week. I know that ECU over the years has struggled to run the football, and they're really trying to get that going with Mike Houston in year 2. And I don't know, if that was almost like an extended practice on the running game against a real opponent, wanting to get the freshman Raji Harris and some newcomers some touches, but it was a bit curious. They end the game, and we talked about it on the 5th quarter, kind of an empty stat, but with 224 rushing yards, and that's a big number for the Pirates. So, again, I don't know if they were trying to get some extra reps in the run game and get it established, but we'll see what they do against Georgia State coming up this weekend. I think you had a 2-1 college football day on Saturday, Jeff. You also told us on the Bud Light pregame tailgate to fade the public and go with Auburn instead of Kentucky. I didn't listen to you, and I should have. So a good Saturday for you. And then I saw you on the Barstool gambling stream yesterday and the Barstool Sportsbook stream, and you had the Bills money line, another one that you had to sweat out after it looked like an easy one, and you were on the Patriots as well, right, Jeff? So a good Sunday for you.
Yeah, I did have late in the day. I had the over in the Arizona game, but I ended up taking profit. That's all that matters in this. I ended up taking the Heat last night as well. So, yeah, I'm very happy with how everything worked out. Soccer's back. I'm doing well there also. So, yeah, it was a good weekend. It was a fun day yesterday. That's what's great about the NFL. I mean, you always know you're going to get something special. I almost had to eat my words with the LA Rams coming all the way back, and at one point, taking the lead. That's one thing, Clip, I'll make your listeners aware of. That's something to keep your eye on going forward. This is the 3rd straight game to open the season where the Buffalo Bills have been overwhelmed in the second half. You look at against the Jets week 1, they were outscored 14-6 in the second half. You look at the other week against the Miami Dolphins, they were outscored 18-14 in the second half, and then yesterday, they were frankly embarrassing in the second half. 29-14, they were outscored. They are a first-half team for me going forward. I have zero interest in backing the Buffalo Bills from a full game standpoint, and I have even less interest when they're laying over a touchdown or even 4 or 5 in taking the Bills. For whatever reason, this team just falls asleep in the second half.
And you look at it across the board, of course, the Falcons are in a category of their own when it comes to blowing leads. But Bills, Falcons, Vikings blow a lead to the Titans yesterday. And it's almost like, Jeff, you follow a lot of NBA. Those games are never over. We've seen, 25-point leads evaporate quickly in the NBA. We're seeing that in the NFL this year. It's crazy the amount of big comebacks we've seen so far across the board.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm still not quite understanding why Dan Quinn's still the coach in Atlanta. I can't for the life of me understand that. I don't know what Arthur Blank's looking at there. I get you don't want to fire a coach just a couple of games in, but this is typical every week. I mean, it's not just the last 2 weeks. I mean, how many times do we need to see the Atlanta Falcons blow a lead? How many times do we need to see an offense score 30-plus points in that group defensively? I mean, they're just there's a stale issue right now in Atlanta, and it's just the same old stuff. Yeah, that was a brutal one. Obviously, the Cowboys, they were down big, came back, took a lead, and then gave it up. It's a wild day every day in the NFL. You can never count anything before it hatches. And I got to be honest, I fell kind of victim to that yesterday. I was at that house, and I made a couple comments about the Bills being easy, and the Rams just kind of looked lost. But it was a special comeback for the Rams. Josh Allen looks like an MVP candidate, though.
Good start to the season for those Bills, even though they've been shaky in the second half. How about tonight? Great matchup. You got Lamar Jackson and the Ravens hosting Patrick Mahomes and the high-powered Chiefs. The Ravens are a 3-point home favorite. Total sitting at 54.5. The totals have been flying over for the most part, Jeff, and I'm going to go ahead and give that a whirl tonight. Just blind bet the over, no matter what the number is. I already got it in. But what are you doing with tonight's matchup?
Yeah, I think it's such a great game. I'm looking forward to it. But I mean, I've said before, and I'll say this again. I guess you could take it under here, but I'm not really sure where these teams punt. I mean, I think the concerning thing would just be that the Ravens have the ball for a ton of time. And, they're just long drives. But one thing about these teams that I think is important to mention is that they're not real quick from a pace perspective. They're both efficient; they get the job done. But if you want teams like the Dallas Cowboys are, Clip, for instance, Dallas Cowboys run a play every 19.7 seconds. The next closest is the Cincinnati Bengals at 23.7. So they are significantly faster than everyone else. The Kansas City Chiefs and Baltimore Ravens are, Kansas City's 17th. Baltimore's 30th. So neither team goes particularly quick, but they're very efficient. You're not going to find me betting this game under. I think one thing about these two teams is there are big play capabilities. I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs defense is any good at all. They have a guy like Jerry Sneed starting. He's a rookie, keep in mind. So, in the secondary, if I'm looking at this game, I'd actually consider, Clip, I don't think we see many field goals in this game or kicking. So, if I like the Ravens, I'm looking to get a little bit more value in this game and say, if I like them 3.5, which I do, I'm almost considering maybe an alternate line at 6.5. I think this is a game where, whoever wins, it's going to be 35-28, 34-27. I don't think it's going to be 34-31 where a late second field goal wins it. But I think Baltimore has plenty of success. I think they kind of push it up here. But, yeah, if I had to play this game, I would be looking over the number. Anything below 55.5, I would bet over. These teams are just too efficient. There's too many playmakers.
We'll have the game for you right here tonight on Pirate Radio. Ravens at Chiefs should be a fun one. Jeff, when we talked to you last Monday, you had already circled and already got in the ECU UCF over, and you got it, I think, at 72.5, whatever. By the time it kicked off, it was a full 5 points above that at 77.5. So you always talk about getting the best number. With that being said, have you looked ahead to college football, NFL, for the upcoming weekend yet?
I did. I've already made a play on one game, over 72, Southern Miss. North Texas. North Texas has been off due to some COVID issues. They're back this week. You look at the first two games for North Texas, gave up 65 to SMU, gave up 31 to the Houston Baptist Huskies, who are actually very good offensively. They were able to push the ball up and down the field on North Texas. Bailey Zapp had 480 yards in that game. So
I had them against old, and for Pirate fans listening right now, unbelievable what kind of offense Skip Holtz and Joe Sloan are running down at Louisiana Tech, because when Skip was here, it was all about winning tight games with defense. I watched that Tech and Houston Baptist had the over the other night, Jeff, and they got to 100 points. So I know that Houston Baptist offense is fun to watch.
No, they really are. They're actually playing their final game of the season this week. They only played a couple games because of their conference not playing this year. But, yeah, when you look at, whether it's Houston Baptist or whoever, North Texas can't stop anybody. This defense stinks. They can't stop the run. They're one of the worst rush defenses in the country. And you look at Southern Miss, this group has given up 32, 31, and 66. I mean, I got to tell you, I actually had Southern Miss. That was my only loss this weekend. Southern Miss is hapless defensively. I mean, they got absolutely chewed apart against Tulane. They gave up 430 yards on the ground. They were just horrific. One thing I like about Southern Miss as well is not only are they hapless defensively, but they have a quarterback, Jack Abraham, who's actually quite efficient. He threw for 300 yards this week. I think this game's up and down. I think it's first to 40 probably wins. I think this has a makings of being one of the higher scoring games of the week. When these two teams play, you just go and say there's going to be a lot of points in this game.
What a week we got in sports, Jeff, as we're already looking ahead to the football weekend and, of course, Thursday night football. But you also got the baseball playoffs beginning on Tuesday, a full slate, a March Madness-style day coming up on Wednesday with baseball getting underway at noon with my Braves and the Reds, and the last game throwing out the first pitch after 10:30, 10 at night. And then you mix in a little NBA Finals, Game 1 coming up Wednesday. It's an awesome sports week, Jeff.
Yeah, we're back, right? We finally have, we had many weeks, many days where we had very little to bet on. So it's nice to have it all back. For me, I love the NBA. I bet it frequently. But as far as baseball is concerned, I haven't really been involved much this year. I've just had other interests. Football's back and hoops. I bet a ton of the bubble. And soccer's here. So, that's kind of my thing that for others it would be baseball. But yeah, it's a fun week. Also, you have some other things as well. We have down the road college basketball starting. So yeah, there's a lot going on. And I think what's great, Clip, is I'm starting to see a lot of foreshadowing going on because, I don't know about you, but I think it's pretty clear that with college football and all but 3 teams will be playing by November 5th or whatever it is, I think it's pretty clear that I don't think those teams are coming back to postpone or stop this season. So I feel good down the road with college hoops and with the NBA getting started for their new season, after the holidays. So I'm feeling good. I'm starting to feel better. This election will be by us here very soon. So, Clip, I'm moving actually about November 10th. And I've started to kind of understand that on November 10th, we should know who the president of this country is. We can finally move towards ending this year. I have a pretty solid opportunity with Barstool. They've been so great. So I've had a great year, and I'm looking for the year for the rest of this country to end, and I'm happy about it. A lot of good things to come.
One more before we let you go, and a little gambling 101 here. So you took the Heat plus. What'd you get it at, Jeff, when you took the Heat to win it all?
20-1.
20-1, and you're sitting on that 4 wins away from cashing out that large ticket. Let's talk about hedging and explain to a novice like me and also the listeners who are not super into gambling, what is hedging and what kind of hedge opportunity do you have in this particular case?
Yeah, hedging is where you basically are looking to, let's say you have a side, so I have the Heat 20-1. I'm looking for guaranteed profit, so I would indeed bet the Lakers in the series and cut into some of my profit, but guarantee a return. So, for instance, let's say tonight you had let's say you had a parlay, and tonight the Chiefs, if you take the Chiefs, or let's say you take the Ravens on the money line, and the parlay pays out $10,000. You might want to come in on the other side and bet the money line. And cut into some of your profit, but guarantee yourself a return. I'm not a big hedger unless I have, like a few years ago, Clip. This is 6, 7, 8 years ago by now. But I had UConn to win the NCAA tournament back when they had Kemba Walker many years ago, 90-1. Something like that, I would hedge. But on a future at let's say 40-1 or lower, I'm not really looking to. And I have every reason to believe this is a good series. I'm going to stick with it. It's not I didn't bet a ton of money on it.
Yeah.
So, I believe in the Heat. I think they can beat the Lakers. They truly do. So, there's certain situations where I'll do it, but I'm not a big hedger.
10-4. Good luck with that one, and looking forward to this series because we've been following these Heat, inside the bubble. Glenn and I have been big big Heat fans. Again, I hate the organization as a whole, just because of like past times they've knocked Charlotte out of the playoffs and everything, but love the individual group of players they've put together. It's a fun roster. So hopefully we get some fun basketball, some fun football as well tonight, as you can hear Monday Night Football right here on Pirate Radio. BMOC, I guess we'll talk to you again later in the week. Thanks for joining us on the Bud Light pregame tailgate show. And once again, we have a noon kickoff coming up Saturday, so we'll try to hit you right at 11 o'clock again if we can, coming up this Saturday.
That sounds good. I will say the Miami Heat, I think you could make a case, and a strong case. They are the most well-run team in sports right now. What they've done is pretty impressive.
Riley, Spoelstra, I mean, they've been there for a long time and been getting results, that's for sure. Jeff, thanks, man. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you again soon.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, Cliff.
Jeff Nadu, Barstool Sports, joining us on the Fixed NC live line. We talk to him a couple times a week. We'll visit with him again on Thursday and see what picks he has coming up for the weekend. We will take a time out, come back, talk Pirates, Knights, and Pirates, Panthers as well, as ECU is set to take on Georgia State this Saturday at noon. It'll be an 8 a.m. start time on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Ronnie Woodward joined us in studio this past Saturday. He'll join us again this Saturday, and he'll join us on the other side of this timeout. More Pirate Radio Live is on the way after this.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Did you know your small change can make a difference? The next time you visit McDonald's, please consider rounding up for the Ronald McDonald House. Your change adds up and can help many folks in Eastern North Carolina. Just $10 can provide a free night stay for families with sick children here in Eastern North Carolina and across the state. Just ask your cashier at checkout or choose to round up for RMHC when ordering through the McDonald's app. Thank you for visiting your local McDonald's owned by Dixon Foods and for your support of the Ronald McDonald House of Eastern North Carolina.
This is Martin Truex Jr., and as a NASCAR Cup Series champion, I love one-stop shopping. When I need fresh tires or fuel during a race, my pit crew takes care of everything. Off the track, I have an auto owner's independent agent. They handle all my insurance in one place: car, home, life, and business. Get your own pit crew and find a local agency with auto owner's insurance.
This is Norm Bryant with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates.
Your CBD store in Greenville has the highest quality CBD products in the country. Your CBD store is the first and only brand that carries USDA certified organic products such as gummies, honey sticks, and high absorption water soluble liquids, which are all made in the United States. They even offer products for your pet. The educated staff will help you answer any questions, and you can stop in anytime to get a free sample. Your CBD store, locally owned and operated, open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6, right beside Duck Donuts in Greenville.
The Frells family lives on a lush piece of land called Greener Pasture, and they work on it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. With its durable construction and features that hook up to dozens of attachments with ease, no job is too tough. The Frells family runs with us, because this is more than just land, it's home. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Get quality at every turn with Quality Equipment, your local John Deere dealer, with 27 locations in North Carolina and southeastern Virginia. Find out more at QualityEquip.com.
When you don't have time to go to lunch, let Jimmy John's deliver lunch to you. With Jimmy John's, we can get a freaky fresh sandwich to you freaky fast. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com. Dinner's great. It's one of your top 3 favorite meals. You just don't want to have to make it. Well, with Jimmy John's, you don't have to. Whether you live in a sandwich delivery zone or head into the store, you can always get a freaky fresh sandwich. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com.
2020 certainly hasn't been the year many of us were hoping for, but one thing has stayed the same. I'm Tim Sutton with Greenville Auto World, and our commitment to our customers has never wavered. Let Greenville Auto World show you how easy it is to buy a quality used car in Greenville. We believe in fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right leads to satisfied repeat buyers. Your vehicle is a big investment, and our customers trust us to keep them up and running with outstanding service and value. We're Greenville Auto World, across from Hardee's at Bells Fork.
Hey, this is Jay from Villa Verde. Did you know that Villa Verde opened up its second location? Yes, it's Villa Verde Dos on Arlington Boulevard across the hospital. This new location is a fast casual environment where you can make your own bowls for only $9.95. Choose from our fresh ingredients from our toppings bars or enjoy an amazing rotisserie chicken. We promise you can be in and out in less than 15 minutes. For a quick healthy meal at an affordable price, visit us at Villa Verde Dos on Arlington Boulevard. Villa Verde, a platform for good.
You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. Go Pirates! Arg!
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by The Man Cave, Greenville's newest premier destination for professional manicures, pedicures, and hair services for men only. Book your appointment today at mancaveandnails.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center of Greenville's new extended care clinic is now open Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m., so you can avoid the emergency department for any urgent orthopedics care. For more information, call 757-2663 or visit orthoeast.com. Orthopedics East, providing services to Eastern North Carolina and the Pirate Nation for more than 35 years. And Clip, got some NFL news for you. The Texans announced just a few minutes ago that they will allow up to 13,300 fans coming up on Sunday when they play the Vikings. So some of these teams are starting to open up their stadiums, so you're going to see a little bit more of a crowd at some of these NFL games coming up next week.
They need all the fans they can get because they are winless, and guess what? The Vikings are too. The Texans have had the toughest start to a schedule for anybody. They've played the Steelers, Ravens, and Chiefs. So that's pretty difficult.
Not exactly cupcake games.
As none of those teams have lost a game. The Vikings blow one yesterday to the Titans and start 0-3. So I don't know. You might have already written off those teams, but that is definitely a loser leaves town match coming up on Sunday. All right, Ronnie Woodward is here joining us inside the Pirate Radio studios. Ronnie, how you doing, man?
I'm good.
Thank you for joining us. I'm doing good. Appreciate it. Your thoughts on ECU at UCF? Did it go as planned? Anything surprise you on Saturday?
A little bit of both. I think it went. I mean, if you look at the spread, the over/under. I mean, if you go on that stuff, it's about what people thought in general. But it's weird to say this because when you give up 51 points, it's hard to say the defense played really well, and I don't think they played great. If you have more than 50, I don't think that's necessarily the case in general. But I liked some of the defensive things they tried. It's hard to execute it right against UCF. But I liked some of the excitement and new look on that side of the ball. Sean Dorso is my dude. He might be my favorite player on the team already. Safety. He tied for the team lead in tackles and was kind of just flying around. Had a couple big hits. Him and Robert Kennedy are both junior college safeties. I think they made a difference. Again, like I said, especially Dorso, he started over Tank Robinson, really, and played a lot. There was a lot of substitutions. There's a lot of things going on defense. Again, it didn't result in a ton of stops or turnovers or anything, but I think this week and when you see different opponents, there could be some good things there. So I don't know if that was a surprise or something that maybe stood out from me or for me. And, I think it's just tough to judge a whole lot about this game. Cause
it is.
I mean, I think Georgia State especially is a huge game for ECU.
I agree.
There's no doubt. And then further opponents, I think we can get more insight into the real, guts of this team. But UCF's just good, man. I mean, their tempo, especially the first few drives. I mean, they ran plays. I don't know how well you can see it on the TV screen. I'm sure you could to some extent, but ECU had guys trying to run off the field, or they were standing up, they were looking the sideline, and the ball's already been snapped. Like, the defensive linemen especially, and obviously that's an entirely new group we've kind of talked about, they weren't ready at all those first few drives. So UCF's just a tough first opponent, not the way you want to do it. But I like some things in the secondary and the potential there, even though the results didn't show Saturday.
And I guess this would tell the whole story, right? 47 pass attempts by Gabriel, 40 rushes by the team. So that's 87 plays that they ran. And they were running them fast.
Yep.
I'm with you. I mean, especially that first quarter, the defense did all you could realistically ask for to keep them in the game after fumble after fumble after fumble. And it got away with them. I mean, that drive to open up the second half.
Yep.
I think Blake Harrell would like to have that one back as UCF scored with ease. The old hot knife through butter there, going down the field and scoring. And
that was the moment where I was like, oh, okay, I can turn and start doing this and typing. And most of the third quarter, I didn't really pay attention because it was, it was time to write. And you could tell the tone of that after that first drive. Okay, we know where this one's, headed. Up to that point, the first half was pretty competitive, for most of it, I would say.
I'm obviously not going to make any judgments on the 2020 Pirates off one game, especially against UCF when it comes to ECU's defense. I will say I was disappointed in the passing game, and 14 to 29 for Ehlers, finished with 3 touchdowns, just 215 yards, but. I keep going back to this. I'm a broken record, but Snead, Johnson, and Prohl having 2 catches apiece is, if you'd have told me that before the game, I would have said you were crazy. I mean, that's not going to win you anything. I think the empty stat of the game, again, to bring this back, 244 rushing yards, but how many of those were gained while the game was still, in doubt? I don't know. And so the offense, to me, for some reason, and they score 51 points, I'm more concerned about the offense than the defense coming out of week 1.
Yeah, no, I'm with you 100%. The thing about the receivers, too, was UCF does, it's mainly one-on-one coverage. There's one safety back. They try to bring pressure, and they did. I mean, Holton Ehlers faced a lot of pressure. He was on the move a lot.
Yeah.
So I think that disrupted things. But some of it is on the receivers, and I think Coach Houston was asked about that. I think Igo asked about that, about C.J. Johnson not getting more catches and targets, that type of thing, and they didn't get open a lot. A lot of it was Ehlers scrambling too, and he threw up a couple of passes to Omatoshu. Well, he had one really good catch on that first drive. Omatoshu had a really good game. That's somebody I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next. But yeah, you're right. And then the one thing, I pointed this out yesterday when I was looking at some stats and stuff. To your point, the total number of rushing yards, 244 to 224, favored ECU. But if you look at the attempts and the average, UCF averaged 5.6 yards per carry. ECU averaged 4.5.
A full yard more than the Pirates.
So, a little skew. I mean, it's not drastic either way, but if you look at it that way, UCF really ran the ball better than ECU. They just didn't attempt as many rushes to get the total yardage. So, again, UCF, that's a good point. I didn't realize that the balance there of the Knights was impressive. And ECU, got a lot of rushing yards in the second half. Ehlers had a couple big runs in the first half. I think he was leading ECU in rushing for most of the game, at least by halftime, really.
I did not have Keaton Mitchell as the Pirates' leading rusher on Saturday going into the game.
I wouldn't have either, but they turned to him in the second half. He hit a couple long runs, and he's got some speed. He's got some serious speed. I heard somebody in the press box Saturday say they haven't seen, in the preseason stuff, some of his runs. A guy that fast as Chris Johnson. Doesn't mean he is Chris Johnson, but he has that type of ability where Penix definitely is a bigger bruiser. Rajay Harris, to me, looked big and the very same mold. Hayden didn't look crazy fast either. So Mitchell might be that slot back, throw a screen pass, a swing pass, get him out on the edge type guy. That again, I think against the Georgia State, against the Navy, against Tulsa, whatever, the bottom half of the league, that stuff can really kind of work. It's just not going to work against UCF because their linebackers and safeties and stuff are probably faster than your running backs anyway. That's just they're built on speed. So just a tough matchup, but some things to build on. I'm curious, honestly, to see tomorrow and this week what the coaches think when they watch the film.
Yeah,
because I'm sure they're watching it with a much different eye.
Well, I talked to Rick Smith about that in the post game, and he said, and we talked about it off the air. I said, do you not really know what you just saw until you watch the film?
Yeah.
And he said that he didn't want to say something that was incorrect because he can't see the whole field on the TV.
Yep.
And they learn so much more, which is why we might have thought it was a cop-out when we first started hearing it all the time, but when a coach says, well, I'll have to watch the film, they literally mean that to find out what happened in that game. I liked, just like the eyeball test. This kid was playing high school football last year at this time, but Rajee Harris, looks the part to me.
Yeah.
12 for 42 is not that impressive. He had the long one that was called back due to a holding call. But I like him moving forward. It stunk to see Hayden on his first attempt as a Pirate fumble the football.
Yeah.
And
it was like an 11-yard run, too.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like he got stuffed in the backfield. Like, he had a nice little run. It got stripped. Ehlers was the same way.
And they can't have a Skip Holtz doghouse for fumbling, Ronnie, because when everybody fumbles, you wouldn't have any other players to put out there.
That's true.
The fumble issue was not one guy. It was across the board. And that was – and really, we'll ask Donnie about it, but can they really do more ball security drills than they've done? Maybe they will. I don't know. But to be sure, they've worked on it. In fact, I asked them about it last week. UCF forced 5 turnovers against Georgia Tech. I said, is it even a bigger emphasis this week? And he said, It is. And you still saw what happened. They put the ball on the ground way too much.
And that's, I think, again, UCF's aggressive style of defense. They're not too concerned if they give up a big play as much as they want the ball back. So they're going to strip at the ball. They're going to blitz. They're going after the football. That's their style because they know what they have on the other side. Oh, if this is a bust or this messes up, results in a long touchdown, they're good with that. It means the offense goes back out and they're going to score and you're good. That's just their style. But the point about the film, I'm curious to see what the coaches, again, if it's, we watched the film and this was a bust or this didn't happen, or is it we watched the film and the guy was there, just didn't make the play. Just the talent gap, or we executed, but they were just better. I don't know if they're going to say that really, but when you watch the film, what is that divide like? Oh, well, this guy was in the wrong hole, or this guy ran the wrong route, versus we got what we wanted, it just didn't execute. They just were better at it or whatever with UCF. So
I don't know how much you're out coached. I do know ECU was outmanned by a wide margin.
Exactly. Yeah,
on Saturday.
The talent gap was obvious.
So that should not be the case this Saturday against Georgia State. Again, the Panthers are a slight favorite at home against the Pirates, but this is a huge game.
Right?
What's that?
Fulton
Turner Field. The TED.
Oh, so the second one.
Yep.
And now they're in
Truist Park.
Okay.
They'll be there Wednesday at noon for game 1 of the playoffs against Trevor Bauer and the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Keep going.
And I expect, I expect Holton Ehlers to look better. I expect the passing game to look a lot crisper, a lot sharper coming up on Saturday.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think just off the top of my head. Again, I think part of this was UCF's blitz and ECU's O-line kind of question marks, but not much passing downfield. Again, a lot of it was Ehlers scrambling and doing some different things. So some deep shots to C.J. Johnson for sure. I think Audi Omotoshu has that same build where they can hit some deep shots to him. Sneed's definitely an inside, obviously, kind of slot man, and Prohl can get down the field a little bit as well. But
Hadfield's a down the field guy. He did not record a catch on Saturday.
He didn't play a ton. Played a little bit, wasn't really involved. I think he had a few targets. But yeah, again, I'm with you. I think a more explosive offense is probably they'll be looking for and just a much more manageable opponent. So I want to look up, trying to look up what ECU's record is in its last whatever games. I know last year they went, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1-6 to end the season. You start on once you're 1-7 in your last 8 games, and yeah, I mean it's not going to get easy when they get into the bulk of the Americans. I mean, this is a game.
I mean, these next 2 weeks are your most winnable games.
Yeah, and if you drop them both, whatever I just said, 1-7, that becomes 1-9 in 10 games. You know, like it could.
It doesn't mean they're not going to beat a team or two later in the year.
Yeah.
But you just get way behind the 8 ball, and it takes the excitement out of a season.
Yeah.
When you lose early and lose to these teams like Georgia State and USF. So
I think this is one they got to win.
I agree.
I really do.
I mean, do we break out the must-win phrase already? But
just for morale, because really, this season's so weird, and I don't know what's going to happen with standings or bowls.
Right.
I don't even know if they're playing for that, really.
But if the goal is 500 or you know, a winning season, this was one you have to win.
Yep. That's
easy.
100%.
Fair to say?
Yeah, like you can't lose this one and expect to win some of these other ones later. So, yeah.
All right, let's take a time out. We'll come back more with Ronnie Woodward from the Daily Reflector. Ronnie's given Igo and I a pass because we didn't exactly get our AAC Survivor picks in. We'll run down the AAC slate for this next week, talk more ECU Georgia State with Ronnie Woodward when we return after this.
Hi, this is Billy Parker, and football is here. Tailgate at home with family and friends this season and let Parker's Barbecue do all the cooking. While tailgating at your house, let us provide all the food with our delicious chicken, barbecue, seafood, and sides. We can customize packages for any size group, big or small. Give us a call today and place your order. Parker's and football, a winning combination. Also shipping nationwide at parkersbbq.com. Parker's Barbecue is how friends and family come together.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now, during hurricane season, is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
Do you think you or your employees might have been exposed to COVID-19? ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers same-day COVID-19 results. No referral needed. Same-day results available. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers easy employer solutions to COVID-19 testing. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville is located across from Vidant Hospital on Executive Circle behind Southern Bank. Call for an appointment or walk in. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville, 215-5688 or arcpointlabs.com.
May 2020, a riot erupts in downtown Greenville. Small businesses are looted. The county courthouse windows are smashed. American flags are torn down and burned. Liberal State House candidate Brian Farkas refused to condemn the violence. Instead, Farkas attacked our police by calling for a radical statewide oversight committee that would bypass our local elected sheriff and district attorney. Farkas even took a $5,400 donation from a group which explicitly seeks to defund our local police at a time when we need them most. State Representative Dr. Perrin Jones has taken a different approach. He's working with Democrats and Republicans in Pitt County to institute meaningful reforms that protect victims of crime and the rule of law, all while honoring those who put their lives on the line for us every day.
I'm Dr. Perrin Jones, and I'll stand up for our police here in Pitt County and across North Carolina.
Dr. Perrin Jones for State House, paid for by supporters of Perrin Jones.
Let's turn a trip to the branch into a tap on your phone. Let's hit pause on a lost debit card without hitting pause on life. That's how First National Bank is redefining convenience with a top-rated mobile app that puts more security and control at your fingertips and friendly people to help you succeed right by your side. Let's get started at fnb-online.com or your local First National Bank. FNB member FDIC.
University PC Care has been the Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. They thank you for your continued support and trust during these trying times. Many services can be done remotely and free pickup and delivery is available. As a Dell business partner and Apple authorized service provider, you can count on University PC Care for all your personal and business tech support needs. To make a remote appointment or to bring in your device for service at their Greenville or New Bern locations, call 558-1280 or go online at universitypccare.com.
Get your sports weekend started at Familia. Every Thursday, Familia has $2 drafts all day. Stop by with your friends and family for some New York-style pizza and have an ice-cold $2 draft. Sunday brunch is the best for food and family. Come and enjoy favorites like shrimp and grits, made-to-order omelets, French toast, and drink specials like $3 mimosas, beer mimosas, or $5 Bloody Marys. Familia, Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College and FamiliaNC.com.
This is ECU head baseball coach Cliff Godwin, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by The Man Cave, Greenville's newest premier destination for professional manicures, pedicures, and hair services for men only. Book your appointment today at mancaveandnails.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Do you think you might have been exposed to COVID-19? Do you think your employees might have been exposed? Arc Point Labs of Greenville offers same-day COVID-19 results. No referral is needed, and same-day results are available. Arc Point Labs of Greenville is located across from Vidant Hospital on Executive Circle behind Southern Bank. Give them a call for an appointment, or you can just walk in. Arc Point Labs of Greenville, 215-5688, or arcpointlabs.com. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, Shirley, Ronnie Woodward and I looking at the baseball schedule for the upcoming week. You got some afternoon baseball tomorrow, playoff baseball in the American League, and then Wednesday and Thursday, you're going to have wall-to-wall, noon to midnight and beyond, playoff baseball. It's going to be pretty cool. I wish that, and Shirley had the note earlier about the Texans starting to allow some fans. We're starting to see fans allowed. I wish they could get a few of these playoff baseball games, give it a little atmosphere. That'd be fun, but looks like they're going to go without him. Ronnie, how weird was it at Dowdy Ficklin Stadium on Saturday, being there with not a ton of media folks in the press box, and obviously not a lot of people in the stands either?
Yeah, it was a balance. It was interesting because I think more or less like the parking and driving up and walking to the stadium and not seeing tailgaters, like that was the part of like, oh man, this is really weird. Like we parked right at the baseball stadium and walked right up the little alley and went right up to the press box.
It didn't even feel like you were going to a game, probably,
yeah,
right?
It's like
what am I going to do here?
My colleague Nate Summers made a good point. We were walking up together and he said this kind of feels like a spring game, like a spring football game, where it's like, well, it's really relaxed and it's kind of chill and you walk right up the stadium. And but honestly, and some of the players said this afterwards, when I got up in the press box and the game started, I actually caught myself a few times, and it was enjoyable for me personally, where I didn't really, I got locked into the game and watching the plays and whatever. It would felt like your normal football game, know, but it's different for us because we're kind of blocked out from the noise up there anyway. So it was a mix. I think, again, the outside the stadium, the driving right up, and the traffic and all that was void and not there. But the actual game was the game, I felt like. And, again, I got caught up in it a few times. I'm like, oh, yeah, like I forget I'm wearing a mask, and there's all the space in the press box, and we have to do Zoom press conference.
Yeah.
So you get, it's kind of a give and take at times.
Once you start to feel a little normal,
something pulls you back in.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's unique, But I'm writing a column kind of about that and the fact that I played a game, and it's better than no game at all.
Absolutely.
It's kind of,
I agree.
Everybody that wants to complain about there should be more fans or there shouldn't, or you should do this, and the Facebook arguments, and everybody wants to chime in on everything. And Saturday was far from ideal in a lot of aspects, but it was better than watching another. It's better than not being there at all, and not having any game.
Although during the fifth quarter, Redbeard asked, could we watch old good games again? And do a fifth quarter on like ECU winning the Liberty Bowl in 1995 or whatever.
I heard that they did boot the game off
Yeah,
ABC,
it
right?
went to ESPN News.
Oof, that's tough.
Because they had to go to, and I don't remember what that 3:30 game was that they went to.
That's like the old NCAA tournament or whatever. Like, well, this game's out of hand, so we're going to switch you over to Oklahoma State versus Tulsa. Or whatever.
Well, that and the game lasted freaking forever.
Yeah.
Obviously, 4 hours.
4+ hours, yeah.
So ECU on the road this week at Georgia State, on the road the following week on the 10th of October at South Florida. There will be a few fans in attendance the 17th when ECU takes on Navy, about 3,500. Who knows? Maybe that number will be increased by then. I don't know, but at least 3,500 at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, which will hopefully give it a little atmosphere. I don't know. We'll see. Ronnie, let's see. Georgia State. I'll be honest. I have not done my Georgia State research yet.
I have not either.
We'll learn about them more later in the week when we talk to Dave Cohen, their play-by-play voice, coming up on Thursday's edition of Pirate Radio Live. All I can tell you is they had Louisiana on the ropes, and Louisiana came back in that game, sent it to overtime, and the Cajuns, who are ranked, still ended up winning that game against Georgia State. So they're 0-1. I can tell you they didn't play this weekend because of a misread COVID test.
Yeah, false. Something's in the first paragraph there. Result of errors reading the test results.
Yeah, like it wasn't. So that is really strange. But the Panthers are a slight favorite, 1 or 2 points, wherever you're looking at, and that's the Pirates' next test.
Yeah. And again, I'm like you. I'll probably dive more into it tomorrow for sure, and get a better idea of Georgia State. But this is one of those where I wonder. Again, I think the film and regrouping from UCF and learning from that is important for ECU, because it's almost like, I think when you're a little kid, and if you had older brothers or people in your neighborhood who are so much better than, or older than you, or bigger than you, or whatever, and you play like basketball against them, it's like, all right, I got my butt kicked. And then it's like, well, the next day, the other kid from the neighborhood comes up, and y'all are like the same size, and it's like, well, man, I'm good. Like, I got this, because, I just got my butt kicked against my older brother, but I'm supposed to, and now, like, I know what to do.
The funny thing is
level of that with this game,
and it's a smaller degree, but both of these teams have that going into this game.
Yeah,
Louisiana is better than Georgia State. UCF is way better than Louisiana.
Yeah.
So ECU certainly has we just lost to the big brother. Georgia State maybe lost to like a tad older cousin.
Yeah.
That is a little more physical than they are, but
I just think that could help ECU, especially right off of that game. And Georgia State had to pause, so Louisiana is a little more distant. If they can really use that this week to their advantage, I like their shot again, because I think the talent is equal, if not better, for ECU on the top end, maybe. But I think in general it's equal talent, and I'll take that coaching staff for ECU and them wanting and needing to get a win. Where I think it's going to be close regardless. I think it's going to be a close competitive game, and will come down to different things. So we'll see.
Come hang out with us 8 a.m. on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. We'll take you up to the noon kickoff. And Ronnie, we had fun with you.
It was fun.
You took a quick break, put on the Rajon Rondo jersey, and came back in. That was fun.
Lakers won that night.
But we will talk to you and Igo coming up in the 10 o'clock hour on Saturday.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that.
Be here.
All right, AAC Survivor. So last week I took Houston. Houston did not play. I said I was going to take SMU, but I'd rather take Houston now, save SMU. Ronnie is going to allow me to have my backup pick, SMU, as my pick last week, so thank you for that.
Fun. Let's not just stop it.
Igo never made a pick. I forgot to ask him on Thursday. He said he would have taken Tulane. We'll just take his word for it, I guess.
Because they scored 80 points.
And we'll give him a win. Ronnie did make a pick last week.
SMU.
You took SMU.
The easy one.
And they beat Stone Cold Stephen F. Austin. So we are, here's where we are now. After three weeks of play, I have selected USF, UCF, and SMU. Igo has selected USF, Cincinnati, and Tulane. And Ronnie has selected USF, Navy, and SMU. So those teams are off the board for us. This week, here's your slate of games. ECU at Georgia State, ESPNU at noon. 3:30 South Florida at Cincinnati, ESPN Plus. 3:30 ESPN2, the game of the week in the AAC will be Memphis at SMU. That'll be a lot of fun. 6 o'clock, Navy and Air Force. I believe Air Force is playing 2 games this year. They're playing Navy and Army, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
So they'll go for the Commander-in-Chief's trophy there. And 7:30, Tulsa at UCF. Did Tulsa beat UCF last year? I think they did.
Yeah, they
Revenge
did.
game.
That was yeah.
So let's see what
Upset.
UCF does to them in the Bounce House coming up on Saturday night. All right. This could come back to burn me later. I could take ECU here.
Yeah. I'm looking at Memphis and ECU.
I mean, Cincinnati would be the easy pick, I think, to move on to the next week.
Yeah, for sure.
But
do you want to burn Cincinnati?
Now that I'm thinking about it, you mentioned this. I think the Pirates are going to win on Saturday. And I'm not going to be real confident about taking the Pirates in future weeks, maybe against South Florida. But I'm going to go ahead and take ECU.
There you go.
I'm doing it.
Okay.
Give me ECU this week. Ronnie?
Yeah, I'm between ECU and Memphis.
So you don't want to burn Cincinnati? Memphis is a risky pick. I mean,
I'm just not big on SMU. I think Memphis is gonna might win that.
You could take UCF too.
Who have I used so far?
You've used USF, SMU, and Navy.
I know. It's a good run though.
Yeah, I mean you haven't used many top tier teams right now. So you're in a good spot.
Going.
I mean, if you take Memphis, that would just be getting a little cocky. But go for it if you want. Your choices are pretty clear here. I would think.
So?
Cincinnati or UCF. Just get a W and move on. Survive in advance. If you want to repeat as champion.
That's true. Okay.
I'm being dumb by not taking Cincinnati.
I like ECU though.
All right, you want to take them in solidarity, and then we'll see if Igo will as well.
Nah, I'm gonna. You're right. You've convinced me to be smart here. I'll go. I guess it doesn't really matter who's got.
I mean, UCF I think would be the safest pick, right?
Yeah, but neither one of them's gonna lose that game. I'll go.
Okay, hold on. Before you make your choice, who would you take in a UCF Cincinnati matchup?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Who do I want to keep?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Cincinnati.
Okay. Interesting.
I was going in on ECU, but
you did.
You convinced me. So I'm gonna go Cincinnati.
And you Jedi mind tricked me into taking ECU. Yeah. Wow.
So we're both gonna lose somehow.
A lot of mind games going on here in the studio right now. All right, Ronnie. Well, thanks for joining us. So is the media setup? I guess last week was the baseline for what we'll see this season.
Yeah.
Mike Houston on Tuesday. Coordinators Wednesday.
Houston Thursday. And Zoom. Wherever Saturday.
We're in Zoom land, and so we'll have all that for you later in the week. Ronnie will have it for you at reflector.com, the Daily Reflector. Follow him on Twitter at RonnieW11. Thanks for hanging out, man.
Yeah, man.
Enjoyed it.
You got it.
We'll see you Saturday.
All right.
We'll have more Parker's Barbecue for you, I believe, as well.
Oh, man, it was good. Right on the way to the stadium, grabbed a couple corn sticks from here.
Yes, sir.
Some barbecue. That was awesome.
Good stuff. Thanks to Parker's Barbecue for the awesome pregame and postgame food on Saturday. All right, we'll take a time out. Come back. Hour number 3 is on the way. John says, clip, can I have 30 seconds? Is that a reference to you?
Yeah.
Okay, that was
30 seconds.
A reference to you on Saturday.
I like it. Good
John,
stuff, John,
you can have 30 seconds if you'd like. All right, we'll take a time out. Troy D joins me when we return after this.
Medicare is not one size fits all, but which plan is right for you? Hi, I'm Denise Walker, and I'm a licensed insurance agent here in North Carolina. Whether you are turning 65, new to Medicare, or already have a plan, I can help you compare your Medicare options. I can help you find a plan offering low to no monthly premiums, prescription drug coverage, and a wide range of additional benefits like dental, hearing, vision, and more. Call me today at 434-531-5674 to get a no-cost, no-obligation Medicare benefits review.
I want some barbecue, some barbecue.
While you're sleeping, our whole hogs are slow cooking over wood to create that bite that Eastern North Carolina is known for. I'm Sam Jones, and for more than 3 generations, my folks have been the torchbearers for what whole hog barbecue is supposed to be. At Sam Jones, you'll find plenty of smoke, but no mirrors. Everything, and I mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Come on over and see us at Sam Jones Barbecue, and I bet you'll be able to taste our passion in just one bite. Sam Jones Barbecue, Fire Tower Road.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Representative John Bell, the Majority Leader of the North Carolina House, and it has been an honor serving the people of Eastern North Carolina the last 8 years. I've had the privilege of working with your local representatives, Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey, as they delivered hundreds of millions of dollars in COVID relief funding to our small businesses, healthcare providers, and families right here in Pitt County. Unfortunately, their opponents are funded by radical liberal out-of-state donors that want to destroy our agriculture heritage, defund the police, and silence your voice by buying this election. This is not North Carolina. We cannot and will not let this happen. Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey are focused on solutions, not revolutions. They will make sure your voice is heard and represent our Eastern North Carolina values. So Pirate Nation, the choice is clear. On November 3rd, please support and vote for Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey for the North Carolina House. Strong voices for Eastern North Carolina. Paid for by the John Bell Committee.
Hey guys, do you have those yellow overgrown toenails? Is your lady complaining that you have rough feet? If you're embarrassed to wear flip-flops or sandals, then the Man Cave is the spot for you. The Man Cave is Greenville's newest premier destination that provides professional manicures, pedicures, and hair services for men only. We even offer a special membership if you dare to join the Gentlemen's Club. What happens in the Man Cave stays in the Man Cave. So book your appointment today at mancaveandnails.com. Friends that groom together, stay together.
Get your ice cold Bud Light seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is Dr. Phil Perdue with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. My colleagues and I recognize how difficult this time is for everyone in our community. We continue to see patients during the week while taking precautions to keep everyone safe. Our extended care clinic is now open on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. so you can avoid the emergency department for your urgent orthopedic care. For more information, please contact us at 757-2663 or visit our website at orthoeast.com.
We're midway through bath time, and 2 medium, 2-topping Domino's pizzas for $5.99 each have begun their drive to the Smith's front door. That's a GPS-enabled custom delivery alert, folks. The newest improvement to the Domino's tracker, saying Domino's will be there in 2 minutes. They're calling it audible. Bath time's now rinse time. They've got 1 kid dry, 2 kids dry. The pizzas are here. They made it to the door. The kids are clean enough. The new Domino's tracker with GPS worked again. 2-item minimum. Pan pizza will be extra. Ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Atlantic Wireless, your local authorized U.S. cellular agent. Atlantic Wireless now offers home internet service. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find a store near you. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. University PC Care has been Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. University PC Care is the local tech support experts for any of your business needs. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right, Shirley Rhodes, Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live on a Monday. Clip Rock here. We got to open up the booty bag this hour, Shirley Rhodes. What do you want to give away today?
I'm going to give away some pizza today.
From?
Domino's.
Domino's, large 2-topping pizza on the line later on this hour when we open up the Pirate Radio booty bag. Also, Troy D is here. What's up, Troy?
Good to see you, Clip. Pro tip, I tried the taco pizza. from Domino's. I believe that's what they're calling it. It's a new product.
Okay.
It was very good. I think you should try it.
All right.
So there's a lot of people don't know that's out.
I did not.
And someone just stopped serving taco pizza. Well, I think Taco Bell ended that on their menu.
Yeah. Their Mexican pizza is now off the menu.
Yep, but not at Domino's. They're putting it on. So thanks to our friends at Domino's. Try the taco pizza.
Interesting move. All right.
Tell them Troy D sent you, and they'll be like, who?
Troy D, again, wearing the Victory Monday hat for 3 weeks in a row.
This hat will not come off on Mondays until the Bears stop winning.
And now that Nick Foles is in, they might not stop winning.
This is fantastic. I should be the Bears general manager because I would have started him 3 years ago. I would have drafted him, even though he wasn't eligible for the draft, but I would have never taken Mitch Trubisky. But the Bears, I'll tell you what, it's renewed my faith in the organization, or at least Coach Nagy. And they pulled Mitch, and what an amazing comeback. In case you missed it, the Bears had a statistical chance, according to the computer. They had a 1% chance to win in the fourth quarter. They're down by 16 points. Nick Foles led them back to victory. The Falcons choke again.
When you're playing the Falcons, you always have more than a 1% chance to win.
The lowest should be like 15 to 20%.
Exactly.
Yeah, but still a great comeback.
Yeah.
Bears are on a roll.
Improbable. We will talk.
They aren't who I thought they were.
Yes. Falcons let them off the hook.
They did.
On Sunday. We will talk ECU UCF, recap that game. We got comments. Mike Houston, Holt Nailers, Xavier Smith. Also, our big calls, Troy D.
I love this segment.
Of the fifth quarter.
This is our first big calls of 2020. Wasn't sure if we were going to get to big calls because I wasn't sure whether the season was going to happen. It's happened. It started. We're on to week 2, but we're going to recap the big calls today.
And we will do all of that when we return. Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live rolls on after this.
It's a story that started in a community like ours. Cal Cunningham grew up in Lexington, where church youth groups working at the local brickyard and McDonald's shaped his life. And now Cal's running a different kind of campaign for the U.S. Senate.
I'm Cal Cunningham. I want my service in the U.S. Senate to be about listening and going places where Democrats don't always go. That's what I learned growing up in Lexington, where we don't check voter registration before taking care of our neighbors. We believe in hard work and service, just like the soldiers I served with overseas.
Cal Cunningham volunteered after 9/11, a lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserve who served 3 tours and took on corrupt government contractors. And Cal will take on the corruption in Washington that's been rigging the system for the drug and insurance companies. That's why Cal's not taking corporate PAC money, because he believes the top 1% don't need more favors. It's regular folks who need a voice. He'll be a senator on our side.
I'm Cal Cunningham, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Cal for NC.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is former ECU tight end Bryce Williams from my friends at the Auto Store Group. If you're in the market for a quality used vehicle, then the Auto Store Group is for you. The Auto Store Group has 3 locations and over 150 quality used vehicles to choose from for all budgets. Shop their entire inventory today at theautostoregroup.com. The Auto Store Group, your hometown store and Pirate owned and operated for over 38 years. Go Pirates!
At Tiebreakers, we admit we have a bit of a problem. People love our wings so much that they're starting to sell their home TVs just so they can watch all the sporting events here at Tiebreakers. Seriously, we're glad you love our hand-breaded, hand-cut boneless wings that much, but we really need you to go home at the end of the night. It's okay, we'll be here tomorrow. And when you come back, bring a friend with you. For great food, great friends, and cold beer, we'll see you at Tiebreakers. Tiebreakers, break the chain, eat local.
How much does the word reliable mean? Sure, all businesses describe themselves as reliable, and we certainly wouldn't expect any business to be unreliable, but when you take a word like reliable and make it your way of life, the entire core of your business, it tends to mean a little more. And it's something you have to show people, not tell them. At Delcor, we show it by being there the same day you call. We show it by simply doing outstanding work with exceptional products, a family-oriented work ethic, and genuine caring for all of our neighbors throughout Eastern NC, because in a time of need, we know the first and the only thing you need is someone you can count on. That's why we only use equipment you can count on too, like a train comfort system. It's hard to stop a train. Delcor can have a new train comfort system installed in no time, or we can provide an AC tune-up to make sure your system is performing well. So will your system keep you cool all summer? Find out. Call us. We're Delcor, the service professionals. Reliable for over 4 decades. Visit DelcorInc.com today.
In studio today with Dr. Shondell Jones from Kinetic Physical Therapy. How can you help people with back pain?
Well, most people are going to have back pain at some point during their life, but you don't have to live with it. A bad MRI or a bad x-ray does not mean you're destined to always have pain. We have specialists that are well trained to find out what the true problem is and the true source of your pain so they can get you on track to feeling better. So don't suffer with back pain. Our nationally board certified specialists are here to help you. To learn more, visit us at kptonline.com. We can help you live well, move more, and hurt less.
Weekdays are a great time to visit North Carolina state parks. The best time to learn about nature is to be able to look, listen, and feel its natural beauty. A visit to the North Carolina state parks is perfect for homeschoolers, scout groups, and teachers looking for a fun field trip during the week. You'll be amazed at all the natural wildlife you'll see when you experience the beauty of each North Carolina state park. Visit ncparks.gov to get all the information on the closest park near you.
This is assistant football coach Drew Dudzik, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Atlantic Wireless, your local authorized U.S. cellular agent. Atlantic Wireless now offers home internet service. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find a store near you. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. The stock market had a good day to start the week. The Dow was up 410 points and closed out at 27,584. The NASDAQ is up 203 at 11,117, and the S&P is ahead 53 points at 3,351. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors financial report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right. Thank you, Shirley Rhodes. Chandler Honeycutt, video production today, wearing his Victory Monday gear after the Panthers picked up a win over the Chargers on Sunday, and Troy D in his Victory Monday hat after the Bears win. Maybe we'll be while wearing Pirate gear for a Victory Monday next week, Troy D, but not this week. ECU falls to UCF 51-28. You were there. What were your? We hit you on the fifth quarter.
Yeah.
But what are your talking points coming out of Saturday's loss?
I think first of all, I hope we're talking about a victory this time next week, and people will feel a lot better. And I think there's a stretch now. East Carolina has a chance to reel off a few wins, potentially, with the way the schedule is stacking up for the next few weeks. But one game at a time. This went about like me and you thought it would, Clip. We talked about it on the air. We talked about it off the air. I went back and looked at our predictions. You said 54-30. I said 56-24. It was actually 51-28, so we're right hovering around both numbers. I'm not shocked. I think that this was going to be a tough game for ECU. It was a tough game. The Pirates came out hot. But, man, when you're playing a team like UCF, you got to be hot the whole time, and we were just outgunned and outmanned, I think.
Definitely outmanned. The score went like I thought it would. How it got there did
never
not.
goes. Yeah, well, because the destination is easy to predict. The journey there is almost impossible.
We definitely took some back roads in the passing game for sure. I mean, just 215 passing yards and 2 catches apiece. I keep going back to it from Johnson, Prohl, and Snead. Is shocking to me that the passing game was not clicking better than it was on Saturday.
I agree. And they also chose to run the ball a lot. So some of it's play calling, too, what they decided to do. So, they're going up against a good Georgia State team. I watched this team play a week or two ago, and I was pretty impressed. And I think if you have any delusions about this, ECU's an underdog going into this game. So that kind of says it all right there. ECU has a lot to prove, and they haven't been able to prove anything yet. So
they have to prove it on the field.
This will be a true game to see where this team is for this year. This is a better litmus test to me against Georgia State, a team that the Pirates are a little more evenly matched up with than UCF.
And if you want any kind of successful 2020 as far as the season goes,
got to win this game.
You have to. I mean, Ronnie and I just about said it. Troy and I might say it this hour.
Must win.
I mean,
if you want to have a
500 winning season,
yes, you've got to get this one. If you don't get this one, I don't see how the Pirates get a 500 win season.
And again, it's not like they're going to go winless if they lose this game. Right. They can win a few games, but if you want a successful season, 500 or better, you got to beat Georgia State on Saturday.
Agree 100%. 100%.
Sure. Let's hear Mike Houston's opening comments following the loss to UCF 51-28 on Saturday.
I was disappointed not to get the win. I thought that we had a great opportunity coming into this game, and really like our roster, I like our team. Everybody knows what happened. Everybody watched the game. Thought played with tremendous energy and intensity and physicality defensively out of the gate. Loved our first drive offensively. Took it down. Got 7 points. Got going. Really had an opportunity to get some control in the ball game, and had 3 turnovers. You had 3 turnovers there in the first quarter. It's where you're around midfield. You got a chance to stick the ball in again, to take control of the game, to get a lead on what everybody regards as the best team in our league. And those mistakes, you just can't keep making them. Really encouraged by the way that our defense competed all throughout the day. I thought that our offense showed some flashes, but I'd be lying to you if I told you that we played up to our expectation offensively. And the kids know it; they're frustrated. And I wouldn't say frustrated; I'll say disappointed. I believe in them. I said, the reason I'm disappointed is because I think we've got some of the best running backs in the league. I think we got one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I think we got some of the best receivers in the league, and I have high expectations for them. I think our offensive line is so improved, and I have high expectations for them. And we didn't live up to those today. I think anybody that watched us today sees the improvement in the program. The kids, I told them they should be encouraged. I'm encouraged, but we got to get to the point where we're flipping that switch, where we're 10-7 and we're converting those drives into touchdowns, taking the lead against a good opponent at home, and you have a chance to really build and have, one of those big wins. We get a chance next week, get to play again next week. So we're excited about that, but obviously a lot to improve on.
All right, there's Mike Houston following the loss to UCF on Saturday and pointing out the obvious, the turnovers, and really ECU was lucky not to be down 28-7 in the first quarter. I mean, I even tweeted at the time, Troy, and I knew it might come back to haunt me, but I said, no matter what the final score is today, the defense has already exceeded my expectations. The way they were able to force them to a field goal, force a punt, and keep ECU in the game in the first quarter, I was impressed with that.
They did give up 600 yards. So it was almost, I think they were 2 yards short. I was talking to Tom McClellan up in the press box, 2 yards short from giving up the most yardage in program history for a season opener.
Oh, okay.
So, there's always that little caveat.
Yes.
Not all time.
Yeah. Hey, I love stats on the UV stat sheet.
My guess is Navy probably owns that somewhere along the way. Did they put like 1,000 yards on us one time?
Yeah, and 76 points too.
Yeah.
And I was kind of worried about that for a moment there on Saturday.
Do you think, someone asked me, do you think UCF let off the gas? Like, could they have done more if they wanted to?
Probably, but I will say, they were still, they were running their offense there late in the game, but yeah, they could have put more points on the board.
Yeah,
surely.
And I think that the UCF teams, they could easily run the table. I believe they got Memphis in a couple weeks, which could be their toughest challenge.
Cincinnati is a top 15 team.
True.
So,
but they're good enough to run the table again this year, I think.
Right now, they're ranked 11th and 12th. We were just talking about that, Troy. if they didn't include the Big Ten this week, which they allowed voters to vote for Big Ten teams again, UCF would have a 10 by their name and an 11 because of Penn State and Ohio State. So they'd have moved up a couple of spots. But still, very, very good team, obviously.
And it was, I tell you what, I enjoyed seeing the SEC back. I watched the LSU game. How about Mike Leach?
Yeah.
This guy is just incredible. And I was talking with Jeff Charles about him earlier today. Jeff was in the studio this morning, and I was like, some coaches just have it, Clip. They just have it. And wherever they go, their success transcends the program. It follows them wherever. And look at Mike Leach. Everywhere the guy's gone. Texas Tech, he turned them into perennial winners. They run him out for whatever the situation was.
The guy in the shed.
That might have got blown out of proportion. But either way, they exit him there. He moves to Washington State, a program that was in disarray at the time, and turns them into winners. And then he comes down to Mississippi State. Oh, his style may not work in the SEC, and knocks off the reigning national champions. Their very next game. Now, granted, I know it's a different team than it was last year, but still, at LSU, that's impressive, man.
Yeah.
I think the guy's a phenom. A football genius.
And there's also the off the field stuff too, with the press conferences.
Oh, I love his
the way he talks, all that too goes into it. Looking at their schedule, they'll beat Arkansas this week. At Kentucky will be a good game, and then back to back with A&M and Alabama. So,
there was a time where the ECU wasn't one. It was the time when Coach Ruff got hired, when they were interviewing for that process. Mike Leach was available then, but it was East Carolina's a school that could have taken a chance on Mike Leach back then and give because look where he is. I said all along, someone's going to take a chance on Mike Leach. They did. And now he's back on top of the game and has been back for a while. But what if that was East Carolina that took a chance on Mike Leach back then?
Do you think he would have come here?
If offered back then, probably. Yeah. But then you would have had Mike Leach as head coach instead of Ruff, but maybe he brought Ruff over as on the defensive staff.
Mike Leach was at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium that year, calling the win over NC State,
and he loves the Pirates.
Yeah, he's a Pirate.
I think for a second, it was just at the time.
Yeah,
Terry Holland wasn't going to hire someone that had that type of baggage.
And there's like a window of time where you're like hands off.
Yeah, he sat out 2 years. People forget about it. Now we can go get hired again. It was too new, I guess, at that time.
Yeah, too fresh. The wound was. But
I thought a school like East Carolina is the perfect school that could have given him an opportunity because I knew someone was going to.
And look, we had their style of play here with Lincoln Riley. And
he could have put his whole band back together. He could have hired all those guys. All those guys could have still been here as the coordinators.
Yeah.
That would have been wild.
He wouldn't have been here long.
No, but what if he was here a couple years or 3 years, and then you hire, let's say they have a lot of success, and then you hire Lincoln as the head coach.
Yeah.
It could have totally changed. That one domino to fall a different way could have totally changed so many different careers.
Well, Lincoln is about to also be
and you might have had Terry Holland stay longer because it would have been a tremendous hire. He would have had tremendous success, and you might have never even heard the name Jeff Comfort.
Hypothetical radio here, folks. We're digging it.
Running a scenario.
Lincoln will be available soon after losing to Kansas State for the second straight
year. I was wondering, I think you might have said out there too. I wonder what the Sooner fifth quarter show was like.
Captain Bill, instead of calling our fifth quarter, called theirs and said, Lincoln Riley needs to be fired.
He's terrible.
They stink.
But let me tell you something. Those fans aren't used to losing this early in the season.
They're used to losing in the playoffs, not to Kansas State.
Late in the year, they're okay with. Early in the year, this is not good.
Man, and had a big lead.
Check on your Sooner friends.
And let it go. Yeah, so that was... but you're right. We started this conversation was you were glad the SEC's back. It was nice to have a fun football Saturday.
Yeah.
Despite the ECU loss,
of
course.
And one of the things about ECU playing early, which will happen again this weekend, it's a noon kickoff, by the way, if you don't know, 8 o'clock coverage here on the Voice of the Pirate Nation for the Bud Light pregame tailgate, is the game ends and you shall still have the late afternoon games and the evening games to be able to watch.
I love it.
So it's a positive in that aspect.
A different scenario for the following week when ECU will take on South Florida at 7 o'clock. It'll be their first night game, and it'll be on ESPN Plus.
Yeah, so it'll be a late night. But those are always fun, too, shaking it up a little bit. You don't have to you can sleep in clip.
Are you speaking for me?
I'm just running some positive scenarios.
Okay.
Yeah. No one has to get up early. You can sleep in, take your time. Pre-game's 3 that day?
Correct.
Then watch the game and then, stay up and have some fun calls at night.
All right. Thank you for speaking for me. Yeah. And for you, Troy, it'll be fun. You get to, I don't know what the hell you're going to do that day. I'll let you speak for you.
ESPNU is the game for this weekend against Georgia State, by the way.
At, nooner?
Yep.
In Atlanta. You going?
No, I am not going.
All right.
I will not be in attendance. And from what I understand, there will be no ECU media in attendance and really no ECU officials, basically, from what I understand. I thought, at least from the media side of things, everybody's staying back. Everything's remote. Even if I went, basically all I could do is sit in the press box and then
Zoom
from the which I could do that here.
All right.
So, no, I will not be in attendance.
It's like high school football. The team goes and that's it, pretty much.
Yes.
Maybe a mom and dad. And
I do have some friends, a number of friends that are going to the game, so we will have some Pirate fans in attendance, and they are opening up the stadium to, I forget how many fans are allowed in, maybe 10 or 12,000. I forget the exact number, but there are Pirate fans that will be in attendance because I know a number of them personally that are going.
Yeah, so that's a good thing. I think that's cool. A little bit of atmosphere. Pirate fans get to see their team in person for the first time. So
it's in Atlanta. It's not too late if folks want to go. All you got to do is drive down Friday night. Really?
Yeah, I'm trying to find that number.
Get up really early Saturday.
Yeah, and make the day trip. The Braves are in the playoffs. Maybe you can catch them while you're there too. All right, I'll tell you what. It was I thought you were working. Did you tune in to a lot of the fifth quarter?
I did. I caught
after the Zoom and everything.
I want to say I caught about 75% of it. I thought the fifth quarter was good. I thought we got some great calls.
And I was
Coach. I was a big fan of. He's a new addition for us. You and Coach Rick Smith did a great job. I thought it was one of our best post-game shows.
And Coach Smith asked about it kind of halfway, almost towards the end of the show. He was like, "Is this kind of normal for calls?" And I said, "Well, we all predicted kind of what was going to happen today, and when that happens, there's no emotional high or emotional low.
They're very level-headed.
So that's why we got the calls we did that were I saw some good things, saw some bad things, but then I said, if ECU blows out Georgia State next week, we'll get a lot of calls. If they lose to Georgia State, we're going to get a lot of passionate calls. So it's all about expectations on the fifth quarter for the most part. And but
as Coach Leach would say, it was better than average.
And Rick Smith will he'll be here answering questions. He enjoyed that part, and also did comment to me, Troy, though, that he didn't want to say something wrong because as a coach, if we interviewed him after a game, he said, I'll have to look at the film. So even on the fifth quarter, he still has that coaching mindset where he'd stop himself and be like, well, on the TV, I can't see all 22 players.
I heard him say that. We need to tell him no one's going to fire him if he gets something wrong on the postgame.
Coach, just say what you think. Say something.
He's good.
But he's still in that mindset.
He's diplomatic immunity now.
Yeah, he's still a coach at heart. So, even on the fifth quarter. Shirley, let's hear the big calls from Saturday's U.S. Cellular fifth quarter call-in show. As we went on into Saturday night, here is how it sounded.
The big calls of the fifth quarter.
Let's go to Randy in, let's say, Seven Lakes. Hello, Randy.
Hats off to UCF. I think they are a much better team than ranked 13th in the nation. Earlier on, I felt like they kind of were handing us the game on a silver platter, with all the penalties and whatnot. I really hate that we couldn't capitalize on some of those. Maybe it would have changed the trajectory of the game a bit. But again, they're a pretty great team, and I didn't expect to come in and win. Really hopeful, of course, but this is not going to be a 1 or 2 year process for Mike Houston. This is going to be a 3-4 year process.
Mike is up in Greenville. Hey, Mike.
I do think there's positives to come out of this. I like the way ECU was running downhill. I really think their defense, even though it didn't show it, played well to start off. They just got gassed. I think the future for ECU is bright. I'm looking forward to hopefully a game next week. But I'm looking forward to ECU getting back on the field.
We also have Rodney up in Winterville. Hey, Rodney.
Excited to see the season start today, but I really was not looking for a win today. I just wanted to see how we would come out, especially with the pandemic going on, how we would look. I think it's hard to really evaluate where we are as a team, especially playing Central Florida, one of the premier teams the past couple of seasons. Maybe we have a better gauge of interest if we would have played a Marshall, Georgia State. With that, it was good to see us move the ball the first drive, but I'm like Coach said, when you fumble, fourth down, I'm about like the coach, that's just like a turnover. There's no improvement there, so we need to still see some improvement and consistency there. Is it just me, or did it seem like that Central Florida receivers over our DBs are like me and the boys?
Kyle in LaGrange. Hey, Kyle.
Everything I saw today wasn't bad. I thought that the running game, and I know in the second half that's kind of what UCF was giving us. But even in the first half, we were able to run it. We just, had some fumbles in bad situations that kind of stalled the offense. So I do think we have a better running game. I think, the defense with Coach Harrell, that's kind of baptism under fire, man. A new scheme. You didn't even have spring ball. One of the best offenses in the country that go 100 miles an hour. I don't really know that you could be too critical of the defense when you're playing that offense and you haven't played a game yet. It kind of is what it is what I expected. Actually, at times, I thought we did some good things on defense. The senator, Mr. Robert Kennedy, I think he's going to be really good.
Bill in Elizabeth City. Hey, Bill.
I don't know if Houston wants to commit to the running game or but my point is, it's like, we had that first drive, everything's going great and everything, and I just think, and I just heard you make the comment, it's like, man, we got some of the most prolific receivers in the conference, and I don't know, we're still trying to run the ball and not play catch up, and I don't, I know that you got to rest the defense and so forth, but the play calling to me was a little, I'm not saying suspect. I just thought that, that I thought we were going to have to play catch up, and that was sort of maybe be a game plan, kind of like, okay, they want to score, we should score, and so forth. And, but I don't know, we did a lot of running game, and Penix looked good, and I get both sides of the coin, is what I'm trying to say, and give your defense time to rest.
Randy in Greenville. Hey, Randy.
I thought the team overall, like a lot of people said, looked better, and that was very encouraging. The run game itself looked a whole lot better, and the run blocking especially. But I'll be honest, if we don't get better at our passing game, we're not going to ever be as good or challenging for the conference title, because to me it looks like the receivers aren't getting open fast enough, if at all. And also, it seems like our pass plays develop way too slow.
Let's go to John in Emerald Isle next. Hey, John.
Cliff, we got to train Coach Smith. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Come on, guys.
Come on, guys.
Coach Smith.
Yeah.
I know you said that a couple times on the practice field, ain't you?
Yeah, I've said that a few times on the sideline and during the games.
Wow.
And said some other things I can't repeat on the radio.
I know that's right. Well, let me just say something. You're well respected, and you always had a passion for Greenville. You always had a passion for the Pirates, and I tip my hat to you. So,
well,
other than that, I thought we looked better today. We got some work to do. I can't believe that interception that Holton Naylor threw. It's just ridiculous. I don't know what he was looking at, but anyway. There was a guy from Myrtle Beach named Garcia that I heard he can spin a football too. So, but the announcers, Mike Golick, I thought ABC did a good job representing us. They didn't call us Eastern Carolina today. Mike Golick, he just talked really good. He talked about how Coach Houston's going to turn this thing around, and he had to run some people off that weren't committed, and just very positive vibes today. You guys rock. Y'all had the best coverage. and I'm so glad to have Coach Smith on the broadcast.
Well, by the end of the year, we'll have Coach Smith saying, "Come on, guys," with us.
We got to get Coach Smith on board. Come on, guys.
There you go. There it is. He's a natural. All right, there you go. The big calls from the U.S. Sailor fifth quarter call-in show, edition 1. Troy D.
Just a small snapshot of the calls over there. That show archived on all our digital platforms. You can go on our website, of course, Facebook page, YouTube Live, and Facebook. Did I mention Facebook? And
watch it back. Yeah. That is a huge addition, by the way. We had our pregame show, I think, had more viewers, listeners, maybe than ever, due to YouTube Live, Facebook Live. We had so many people screenshotting.
Yeah.
People are watching it on their televisions at home. So it was awesome.
The technology has kind of caught up, and we've kind of caught up with the technology too, utilizing all these forms too, and really, as we said, making the investment this summer in our new digital studio, which we're broadcasting from now. So so many people have smart TVs nowadays.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you can buy a dumb TV anymore, like a regular one. I think they're all, even the cheapest ones, still have internet capability. It's kind of like buying a car. You're too young to remember this. Shirley, you may remember this. Remember there were cars that you'd actually have to roll down a window back in the day that didn't have automatic windows or door locks?
Yeah, we used to call them hand cranks.
Yes. But now, I haven't seen one of the, and even the cheapest car you can buy new from a dealership has automatic door locks and windows.
Yeah,
like that
your base package. Yeah,
used to be a luxury, and it's kind of like TVs. Even the most basic TV is a smart TV nowadays. So the YouTube is embedded in a lot. Like you hit a button even, and it goes to it automatically. And all you got to do is search Pirate Radio TV, and boom, you can watch this on your big screen, which a lot of people did, Clip, and a lot of people were tuned in on Facebook. A lot of people tuned in on all 4 radio stations. A lot of people tuned in online. So we appreciate everybody's support, and we're going to do it all again Saturday at 8.
Go ahead,
sorry, I was just going to say, kind of piggybacking on your point, Troy, about how far-reaching this thing. We have people checking in, of course, as we usually do. People check in and tell us where they're listening from. We actually had someone who had messaged us during the pregame show that they were listening on the beaches of Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, I heard that. That's cool.
So, I mean, it's not just, United States, it's worldwide.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing. You don't even, you don't have to have a radio. If you have a phone, if you have a computer, if you have an iPad, if have a TV. There's so many of these devices, even a smart speaker at home, you can hear the audio now. There's so many ways to stay connected, and you can live anywhere and be a part of the program.
We enjoy your interacting with us, and we'll do it all over again this Saturday starting at 8 a.m. on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. We'll take a time out, come back. As we do, Shirley.
Booty time?
Is it booty time?
Booty everywhere.
Oh.
Booty
I'll tell you what. I heard Morgan Ayler's on Friday. He does a pretty good booty time song. By the way, Morgan does a fantastic. I had to text him. I said, "You do an incredible Fat Albert."
Yeah,
I had no idea. I didn't know. Morgan's done voices.
He does a lot.
But he usually does like the same 3 I hear over and over. I had no idea he could do Fat Albert so good. I was really impressed.
I'm not shocked that any voice Morgan can do.
No, it's true.
He's really good.
It just took me off guard because I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting that out of Morgan.
All right. Troy D, big fan of Pirate Radio Live on Fridays.
Fat Morgan?
Fat Morgan, yeah. Seemed pretty natural, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Give it away.
Can I get to what we're doing?
Give it away now.
317-1250, caller 12. You are a winner of a large 2-topping pizza to Domino's of Greenville, 3 locations in Greenville to serve you. 317-1250, caller 12 wins. We're back with more after this.
Do you think you might have been exposed to COVID-19? Maybe you're planning to visit parents, family, or friends. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers same-day COVID-19 results. No referral needed. Same-day results available. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers easy solutions to COVID-19 testing. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville is located across from Vidant Hospital on Executive Circle behind Southern Bank. Call for an appointment or walk in. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville, 215-5688 or arcpointlabs.com.
Hidden phone trade-ins, hidden plan requirements, hidden catches. You won't find them at US Cellular because we speak fair. Plus, when you switch right now, you can get $500 off the latest phones. Upgrade to fair. Upgrade to US Cellular. Requires new postpaid service plan, new line port, and credit approval. Qualified smartphone purchase and comes via monthly bill credit on a 30-month RIC. Taxes, fees, and additional terms apply.
Does the idea of going to your local U.S. Cellular store make you feel a bit uncomfortable? Tired of the hassle of waiting and wearing a mask? Let Toby Williams and his outside sales team take away that worry. They will come right to your home or office and drop your phone off on the porch or at the front desk for you. Saving you time and worry is what the team at Cellular Warehouse is all about. Call Toby today at 252-799-7051 and let them help you with all of your wireless needs. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and welcome inside the booth. Could it be start and stop, start and stop? I'll have some thoughts next.
Let me tell you a thing or two about the people who don't compromise. For starters, they love a nice, cold Pepsi Zero Sugar. Why? Because it's delicious, it's refreshing, and it has zero sugar. How's that for not compromising? They're the sort of person that likes surf with their turf. Because who decided beef shouldn't have a buddy? And a drink with their feast? Yeah, they have a Pepsi Zero Sugar. The person who doesn't compromise loves a good golden doodle. All the golden retriever goodness with just a hint of doodle. No compromises there. Oh, and when they're bringing said golden doodle for a walk, they bring a Pepsi Zero Sugar. They're the kind of person jorts were made for. 50% jeans, 50% shorts, 100% the most comfortable thing that's ever graced your wardrobe. Not compromising never looked so good. So crack open a Pepsi Zero Sugar and taste what it's like to have it all. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero sugar done right. That's what I like.
All bets are off for this college football season. I have a feeling it is going to be like Major League Baseball. We have seen what has happened there. Series after series has been postponed due to positive COVID-19 tests. As we all know, college football has been pushed back, and the question is, will there be any consistency in the schedule? Or are we going to be basically going week to week? It only takes a few positive tests to shut down games. So that little pocket schedule we all like to get and carry around, it probably doesn't mean a whole lot this year. As they say, we are in a very fluid situation. Come back again next time, and we'll visit Inside the Booth.
You've been listening to Inside the Booth with Jeff Charles on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
This is Big John Williams, strength and conditioning coach for East Carolina football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Atlantic Wireless, your local authorized U.S. cellular agent. Atlantic Wireless now offers home internet service. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find a store near you. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back, guys. You cannot impress the ladies with that sloppy, unkept look, and that goes for you married guys, too. Time to get to the Man Cave in Greenville, the premier destination for professional manicures, pedicures, and hair services for men only. Enjoy a cold beverage, get a snack, and let the professionals make you look your best. Visit mancaveandnails.com and book your appointment today. The Man Cave now open on the corner of Fire Tower and Evans. And congratulations to Bill Carroll of Winterville, who walked away with a gift certificate courtesy of Domino's. Domino's of Greenville has 3 locations to take care of you every day. Get all 3 topping pizzas, and they're only $7.99 each for carry-out only. Order online today at Domino's.com. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, congratulations, Bill. We will be opening up the Pirate Radio booty bag each and every day this week on Pirate Radio Live, and we got a big week planned.
I was going to say, should mention a special guest tomorrow to open up the show in the 3 o'clock hour. David Glenn going to join us live in studio, so we'll be back with you at 3 Clip, and look forward to welcoming David Glenn.
We'll be talking Pirate football, ACC football, everything else in between going on in the world of sports. Wednesday, we'll talk to Kevin Monroe, color analyst on the Pirates IMG Sports Network, get his take on ECU, UCF, and look ahead to Georgia State. And then we'll take an inside look at Georgia State on Thursdays. Pirate Radio Live with their play-by-play voice, Dave Cohen. He'll join us on the show. So a lot of ECU football talk on the way later this week on Pirate Radio Live.
Great job with PRL. A lot of fun and a lot of entertaining guests. So it's the only show in town, 3 to 6 every afternoon, Encore on Pirate Radio on our radio stations every morning from 7 to 10.
And speaking of encores, Troy D., the encore of the Brian Bailey Show coming up in about 17 minutes as he talked to Roy Tesh earlier today. Great show. You can hear that coming up at 6. And a big night of programming rolls on. Chiefs-Ravens tonight, a showdown, a potential AFC championship preview. You can hear it right here on Pirate Radio.
Yeah, thanks to Sean Grubbs, too, watching us on Facebook Live, said, weighed in with a comment. Pirate Radio is the best in radio for college sports in North Carolina.
Thank you, Sean.
What a compliment.
Sean has listened to all the options out there and said, we're number one.
He may be just pandering to us, but we'll take it.
Yeah, he maybe wanted to hear his name said.
And it
guess
worked.
what? We're going to say it. Sean
Nice
Grubbs.
Work, Sean Grubbs.
Sean Grubbs.
Thank you for your support.
The best Facebook Live poster today.
Easily.
He's by far.
At least this hour.
Now, who wants to try to top him?
Josh Thomas, are you listening?
Kenny, you got any more comments?
Kenny Curlins?
Brandon Manning?
The competition is still open.
Scott, our Maryland guy, you got anything nice to say?
I will say he is our most dedicated Maryland viewer. There is no doubt about it.
That he is. He is
Scott's been with us for years.
Our number one Maryland guy. Getting ready for another year. Scotty Moe up there with the Terps.
Yeah.
He will not go 3-9 this year.
Well, could they add games?
No. They're
Make
set.
it possible.
They're set in. Yeah.
So what would be the equivalent of 3-9 on a shortened season?
How many is Big Ten playing, Shirley? 9 or 10?
I still.
Do you recall? Big Ten. Big Ten games. How many are they playing this year?
I think they're going with
the 9 or 10 or 8.
Let's say 10. It would be appropriate
10.
if you went 3-7. I still hope they keep it on.
You think
the
he can win 3 out of 10? I think like 2 and 8 would be the
just keep it consistent.
Yeah.
That he's a 3-win guy.
Well,
I would say just keep it at 3, that he gets no more than 3.
The less they play, the tougher that third one is going to be. So, yeah, I don't know how. I can't remember how many games the Big Ten. We can run down Maryland's schedule real quick. Unfortunately, Troy, they don't have those non-conference games. They can. The opponents they can beat up on.
I heard you say North Carolina earlier today. North Carolina added Western Carolina, which is a weird date, December 11th. Normally, you'd never be. I mean, that's just a sign of the times. You'd never be scheduling games in mid-December.
Yeah.
But this is where we are now. The Pirates still have that December 5th date open and the December 11th date, so they could add Marshall later in the season if they want to. You could even add another team, I guess, if you wanted to on December 11th.
Yeah. And that's still a possibility, I think, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I used to say it as a joke, but it's for real.
I forgot. Don't use the possible word around Troy.
Anything.
Because anything.
Clip, what have you learned this year?
Anything is possible.
And is it true?
Yes.
Yes. You didn't believe me when I used to say anything's possible. You're like, oh, what a cliche. Now, when I say anything's possible, you're like, you know what? He's right.
You nailed it,
Anything is possible.
You were right.
It's not just anything's possible. Anything truly is possible.
It is possible for you to be right.
We live in some weird times.
Maryland opens at Northwestern. They can win that game. Maryland closes.
Northwestern's usually pretty good, though, man.
What were they last year?
I don't know. My sister is a season ticket holder to Northwestern.
Get her on the phone.
How about that? There's your 1 degree. Did you know that? Fast fact.
I did not.
Yep.
I didn't think that was possible, but it turns out it is.
Season ticket holder to Northwestern football.
All right. They could win that. It's possible they win that game. Boom. I got you.
So I have a family connection there. My mom went to Northwestern, by the way. Another family connection, Northwestern. I'm taking the Wildcats. I know you didn't ask me.
Can I move on?
Yeah,
Okay. They end the season with Rutgers. Another possible victory.
I have no connection to Rutgers.
So I'm saying 2 possible victories. But here's what's in between.
All right.
Minnesota, Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan State, Indiana, Michigan. They're not winning those games.
That sandwich is a big L sandwich with 2 pieces of bread that may or may not come through.
With possible L breads.
Yeah. It could just be one big L sandwich with no bread.
My point is no 3 wins for Scotty Moe this year.
Yeah, unlikely.
Yeah.
Unless someone forfeits the game.
Again, they're not winning 3 games, Troy. They're not.
I know. The synergy is all I was talking about.
You really want that 3-9 to continue.
Yeah.
All right. So there's your Maryland football update.
They got a tough schedule.
Yeah, and
it's not looking good for Maryland Terrapin fans.
I saw this today. This was the worst opening week for the SEC since they began play. 7 teams lost, Troy.
Yeah. Wow. That's like stunning.
For folks not following along, they're all conference games.
Yeah.
And they're playing against each other.
Who would have guessed it?
But man, it makes for some interesting matchups when when the Big Ten and Pac-12 get back into play. It's all conference. Like, it's all important games.
Yeah, they're going to beat up on each other.
Yep.
But this is, what they wanted. They didn't want to play non-conference this year.
They didn't want to, they wanted to play, they being the coaches, players, and everything. But as far as them getting in late, that's.
I guess it's worked out for them. You know, I mean, they're in action now.
Yeah,
they wrote out the little hiccups that happened early in the season.
Yeah,
I don't know. I guess it's worked.
Are you talking SEC?
Yeah, SEC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking Big Ten and Pac-12.
No. I think they're late to the dance.
Yeah.
No, I think the SEC probably played it perfectly.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
and they're getting their headline games and all that in and everything. So. Yeah, you're right. It was fun on Saturday, and another fun NFL Sunday as well. A wild day. We talked about Troy D's Bears and Nick Foles coming in, picking up a come-from-behind victory.
It was the first, it was the Bears were down 26-10 in the fourth, and I took a picture of it on my phone. And I was watching with my son Bryce, and I was like, and they had 2 touchdowns called back that were actually touchdowns that were called back due to BS reasons, and they probably should have been touchdowns. So technically, the Bears scored 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Only 2 of them counted. But I was told, Bryce and I were watching. We're like, look, this thing, the way the Falcons are with the way they choke, and the way the Bears have been coming back.
They did it against Detroit. Right?
I hate to say it again, but I literally told him anything's possible.
Oh my God!
And even though the deck was stacked against them, against all odds, Clip Rock.
The dealer's showing an ace in blackjack.
I mean, you're ready just to fold them and say game over. Nick Foles comes in and looks like Tom Brady at his prime, like 10 years ago.
Don't compare him to Tom Brady. He beat Tom Brady.
True.
In the Super Bowl.
It was incredible. It was just an incredible finish.
By the way, I saw this, Troy, coming up. So the Bears got the Colts this week.
Yep.
You know who they play after that?
Packers, maybe?
The Bucks.
Oh, okay.
That's Brady and Foles going at it again.
That'll be
for different teams.
That needs to be like a primetime game.
And guess what it is? Bad news, it is a Thursday night primetime game.
Well,
or maybe that's good,
That's all right.
That's a good that's good for the public.
Yes.
That's a good Thursday night game.
Absolutely.
And and then they got the Panthers. And look, the Bears, I did say this. I didn't believe in the Bears going into the year, but I didn't really like the Vikings or the Packers. Now, the Packers look awesome.
Yeah.
But I said there's some value in taking the Bears in the North, and I was right on the Vikings. I was way off on the Packers because they appear to be the team to beat.
Now, look, the one thing about the Bears, I'm a big Bears fan, for those that don't know, they have just been kind of getting by. They're 3-0, and it's great to win, but they haven't really dominated anybody.
They've won by 4 points every game.
Yeah.
They've beat the Lions by 4, Giants by 4, Falcons
just
by
to be
4.
devil's advocate, all these, they could have been losses potentially. They could be the same team at 0-3. So but that's the NFL too. It's a very thin margin between winning and losing. Always comes down to a handful of plays sometimes in these games. And hopefully, though, this is what, I heard Coach Nagy say today, that this team, there's something special about them. So we'll see. You know what? What would it be like to win a Super Bowl in a COVID year? Will there be fans at the Super Bowl this year?
Yeah, I think so.
By then, it's in Florida. The state's opened up. There's the governor saying, yes, there will be fans there.
Yeah.
And the NFL makes so much money off those tickets.
And you've already got teams that do have some fans.
I mean, the face value of a ticket nowadays is at least, I think, $1,500.
Have they when is Chicago opening up the stadium to some? Or have they already?
I don't think they have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got refunded the season tickets that I have.
That's a shame, too, because they got back-to-back home games here. Colts would be a good one, but that game against Brady and the Bucs.
Now we're hot. All of a sudden, I could have turned those tickets into a nice little investment.
That Bucs game on a Thursday night, definitely.
Yeah, of course they do this on a year that nobody gets tickets.
Saints at home. They have a
Well,
very
could have been.
attractive home schedule.
It's like a stock, man. Their stock is up, and the prices of tickets would go up with it.
Let's think positive. Last game of the season is against the Packers at home.
Wow, that's going to be...
Could be for the NFC North.
Easily could be for that division.
And they'll have some fans there that game.
Hopefully.
I think so.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a time out. We'll come back. Get ready to wrap up today's edition of Bears Talk.
It's just a segment.
I guess, yeah.
It was a short segment.
Look, if Washington would have won, we've been doing this every Monday, but we're not talking about them much anymore.
Sorry about your team formerly known as the Redskins.
Yeah, formerly I cared. Starting not to anymore. All right.
Well, they're losing clip. Yeah, look, it's not a good sign.
Take a time out.
Dan Snyder.
More to go after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2020 Buick Enclave and save over $9,500 off. As always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
Humana is proud to serve veterans. If you've recently turned 65 or become Medicare eligible, Humana would be proud to help you with your Medicare decisions or any questions that may arise. Let an agent assist you now to determine which Humana Medicare plan may best serve you. Humana can teach you about health plans, which will provide you with the access to products and programs to help support a healthy life. Humana is proud to be the National Medicare Advantage Plan provider to the veterans of foreign wars.
This is Denise Walker. Call me today at 434-531-5674 to get a no-cost, no-obligation Medicare benefits review.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Representative John Bell, the Majority Leader of the North Carolina House, and it has been an honor serving the people of Eastern North Carolina the last 8 years. I've had the privilege of working with your local representatives, Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey, as they delivered hundreds of millions of dollars in COVID relief funding to our small businesses, healthcare providers, and families right here in Pitt County. Unfortunately, their opponents are funded by radical liberal out-of-state donors that want to destroy our agriculture heritage, defund the police, and silence your voice by buying this election. This is not North Carolina. We cannot and will not let this happen. Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey are focused on solutions, not revolutions. They will make sure your voice is heard and represent our Eastern North Carolina values. So Pirate Nation, the choice is clear. On November 3rd, please support and vote for Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey for the North Carolina House. Strong voices for Eastern North Carolina. Paid for by the John Bell Committee.
Hey guys, listen up. The next 30 seconds is very important because we have an announcement. Shimmer Boutique is your one-stop shop to make you look good and thoughtful. This is Ashley at Shimmer Boutique. We specialize in men's and women's apparel and also carry the biggest selection of local hats and jewelry. From Yetis to Hey Dudes, this is the place for you. Did I mention we also have free gift wrapping? Come check us out at our new location on Greenville Boulevard behind Starbucks. Shimmer is your one-stop shop for the whole family, and we will always make your shopping experience easy and fun.
Your CBD store in Greenville has the highest quality CBD products in the country. Your CBD store is the first and only brand that carries USDA certified organic products such as gummies, honey sticks, and high absorption water-soluble liquids, which are all made in the United States. They even offer products for your pet. The educated staff will help you answer any questions, and you can stop in anytime to get a free sample. Your CBD store, locally owned and operated, open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6, right beside Duck Donuts in Greenville.
Hey guys, do you not look your best? Do your hair and nails need some work? When is the last time you looked at your feet? Guys, I can assure you that the ladies love a nicely groomed man. I'm Amanda and I have the solution. The Man Cave is now open, offering salon services for men only. Men, come enjoy the complimentary lounge before or after your service with free food, drinks, and pool table. The Man Cave, now open on the corner of Fire Tower and Evans, Greenville.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
The new Pirates Cove Car Wash and Haviland Express Lube on Glen Burnie Road in New Bern is now open. Pirates Cove is now offering Fast Passes for $9.99 for new Fast Pass customers. These Fast Passes are good in New Bern and at all 3 Greenville locations. Visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and on East 10th Street. And now in New Bern on Glen Burnie Road.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
This is ECU Assistant Football Coach Roy Tesh, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Atlantic Wireless, your local authorized U.S. cellular agent. Atlantic Wireless now offers home internet service. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find a store near you. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Atlantic Wireless is your local let me try that again. Atlantic Wireless is your local authorized U.S. cellular agent and now offers curbside service and free home delivery. In addition to phone service, Atlantic Wireless has a great selection of tablets and now offers home internet service. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find a store near you. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right, thank you, Shirley. Troy, I think last week was pretty much the baseline for the in-season media opportunity. So we'll go Houston Zoom on Tuesday. We'll go coordinators Wednesday, Houston Zoom Thursday, I believe is the schedule. So we'll have those videos out for you on our social media sites. We'll have the audio here for you on Pirate Radio Live as we get set for ECU and Georgia State.
Yeah, look forward to it, and look forward to learning more about Georgia State this week, too.
Yeah, Thursday, we'll talk to their play-by-play voice, Dave Cohen, here. And when are we going to do our press box Zoom with the guys?
I will set that up with the guys.
Because we look like geniuses right now. We got to keep it going.
Yeah, and even the aggregate of all of our scores was very close.
You are really fascinated by that.
Well, I figured this may be the only week it works.
So talk about it while...
Ride that donkey while we can.
Ride that donkey.
Yeah, we'll do that this week.
That'll be later in the week.
Yeah, I'll set that up with you guys. We got to keep that going.
Good
That's
deal.
a lot of fun.
It was. I enjoyed breaking it down and talking with the guys again.
We'll do it. I will work on setting that up for tomorrow.
Sounds good. Troy, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Be here tomorrow at 3. David Glenn going to join us live in studio. Tune in for that.
Looking forward to that. Got DG, Troy D, Billy Weave, and also IGO coming up on Tuesday's edition of Pirate Radio Live. Shirley, Chan Man, great job. Troy D, enjoyed it.
So long, everybody. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to take your line. No, go ahead. Sorry. I'll just say so long.
Wait, whose show is it again?
If Troy's here, it's his show.
No, sorry.
We're all along for the ride.
You close it.
Chandler, you close us out today. Go ahead.
So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM.